sleepy, nighty, snoozy snooze.
Hello there.
Hello? Yes, hello. Hope you're all keeping well. And welcome back. We were live earlier for like 4 hours. Yeah. Indeed, and we were. Hope you're keeping well. Happy Thursday. And you're very welcome along to this, a live stream. We're here in Explain today. Explain. With a brand new aircraft I haven't flown, which is the CIS Seneca II. Based, of course, on Piper's PA-34, twin-engined goodness. And we're going to take it for a flight here this morning. We're going to be utilising OnAir Company. We explore what's happening as we do some freelance work with this one. And then next week, it's back to proper company ops as our TBM is on its way to Fort Lauderdale. But today, it's all about checking out a new aircraft, seeing how it works. We're going to be tracking all our movements with OnAir. It's going to keep an eye on what we're doing and how we're doing it. And then we need to plan for tonight's flight, friends, where we're flying from that place I can't pronounce to Princess Juliana. It's going to be grand. Now, the first call of importance. This arrived in the post and I attempted to go at it this morning and I chickened out. You see, what we have here, friends, is a bit of technology, right? And what makes this bit of technology so interesting is this is a USB PCIe 3 card. And you might be saying, and? Well, you see, there are 4 USB controllers on this, meaning each of these ports that you see get 10 gigs of speed each. Then there's also an SATA connection on the back end of it. And I went about putting it into and I realized, no, don't have time for this. And I need to fix it. And you might hear things beeping this morning, but it'll be grand. We won't panic. I pulled out enough hair. But this is the next gadget that goes into a machine. Now, you might be saying, you know, USBs and connections. Where these guys come in very handy on your home rig, we tend to use a lot of kind of, you know, USB hubs and their powered hubs and whatever else. Well, it depends on what they're connected to on your actual motherboard, because there's only certain speeds your motherboard will allow depending on what slot you're going in on, right? And a lot of the more modern machines, they're very fast. Like the PCIe 5, they're like lightning fast in comparison. They can throw out 40 gigs, right? That's the speed of the connection. But most of them are standard kind of maybe USB 2 or USB 3 hubs. And if you have, you know, your USB hub plugged into just one of them, you've now limited the speed of which all of these gadgets are going to work. Now, when it comes to flight sim hardware, it's not a big to do, right? I mean, if you're only using peripherals like joysticks or, you know, a mouse or a keyboard, well, that's all grand. They shouldn't really need high speed. When you start connecting other gadgets, things like stream decks or other monitors perhaps, or, you know, if you're into your cameras and audio and all this, that's where it gets interesting because it just can't deal with the bandwidth. Because, you know, you might be using 110 gig, but if you've like 6 ports on your hub, well, they're all sharing the same USB controller. Whereby something like this has individual, you see the chips, they have individual USB controllers, meaning that, you know, it can utilize the maximum speed of that PCIe card. So this is an upgrade badly needed for my streaming PC. The motherboard that's on this is a Z690. It's not a bad motherboard by any account. But the issue is it's like thronged with USB connections. I mean, I've got cameras going in there. I've stream decks, microphones, you name it, it's gone in there, including monitors. You know what I mean? So what we have, in my case, I have my, what's it called? That gadget? The Sabrent. I have a Sabrent hub gone in there on a USB 2, which is kind of, well, thick. But I don't need high speed in it. But that's why I keep getting these doo-doo. Oh, Jesus. Doo-doo. That's, you know, so that's the science that's going to be deployed at some stage. I tried to do it this morning. I ran out of time. I'll probably have to tackle this again in the morning. But I'll let you know how I get on with it. Because as I was saying, it's this could be an upgrade most of us would overlook. You know, thinking that everything's grand, but you may not be getting the very best out of your peripherals. And when we talk about, you know, if you're using USB monitors, which is a thing now. Do you know what I mean? So I'll let you know how that gets on. That was the first bit of the jigsaw. The second bit then are all my little adapter fellas. So Cyrus T put me on to buying these little gadgets, in which I got some. So now I have some, which means I can now convert USB-C to A and A to C and all of this kind of crack. You see, we'd be busy here thinking how we can break more stuff. Do you know? But anyway, it's all into flying now. Hope you're having a great day. It's Thursday. It is 18 degrees in the Premier County of Tipperary. It's 22 degrees inside the man cave. And yes, I am looking forward to experimenting with this machine here. Hello, you gone?
Can I get a refund?
We'll see you later. No, there's no refunds. Jesus, there's no refunds. So the Seneca, the PA-34 Seneca, we had one of these back in the day of Microsoft Flight Sim, thanks to Coronado. And, well, I mean, it looked great. It just never got an update. And then it got an update, but it's still out there. It's a 2020 aircraft. The Seneca is a beautiful machine. It's one of those twin-engined aircraft that you say to yourself, you know, if you're in the market to buy a plane, a Seneca will be up there because they're big, you see. And what we have here, when you look at X-Plane, when it comes to general aviation, there's a handful of names. CIS are new, right? As in they're relatively new. I can't remember who said, Murph, you need to check it out, but here we are checking it out. Now, they seem to have completed their Piper fleet. So they have a Seneca, they have the Seminole, which is the smaller variant, and they just released a Chieftain, a Piper Chieftain, which is bigger than this again, right? So we're going to start off life in the Seneca, and we'll see how we get on with this, and then we might have a look at the other ones as well. But we'll go through how it looks and sounds and all the jazz. Now, as I said, we're going to be using OnAir. We'll also have Say Intention, so if you'd like to fly along on Microsoft Flight Simulator, just jump on and you'll be able to see, well, me, and I can see you. We're on the ground here at Amber, I think it's called. Ambler. In Alaska, Kotzebue, it's called. Papa Alpha Foxtrot Mike, PAFM. That's where we are. And we'll see what it's like, right? I didn't go live time because it's nighttime in Alaska, right? Like 2 or 3 in the morning. But we'll see what the crack is here now. But anyway, how's everyone? Yeah, right. What date is today? Doesn't the trailer for Grand Theft Auto come out today? I think it does. The first hour or something. And there's loads of stuff happening in Flight Sim. There's releases now tomorrow. We've got more releases coming out on Tuesday as well. It's going to be quite busy. But anyway, D. White, good to see you, buddy. Welcome aboard. Malky is in the house. Good morning. I'm Pierce is here. Hope you're well. Idle Cutoff, Cambridge calling. Hello from Tipperary. 98 Vulcan, greetings. Gar Gaming, hello to all in County Galway. Sunjammer is here. Commander Balosh, I hope you're well. Hayden, UK, good morning. Good to see you, buddy. Falconer, thank you very much indeed for 15 months, buddy. Insane support. Thank you very, very much indeed. Cyrus T, the man of teal, has rambled in. Good to see you, buddy. Idle Cutoff, thank you for 75 in a row. Stu Snape is in the house. Hope you're well. Hope you're well. You're looking well. It's good to see you, man. But yes, Falconer says, good afternoon from Sweden. Hello. From Tipperary. Quokka is in the house. Good morning. Jalagod is here. But what is the speed of the UPS connection? It depends on the size of the delivery van. You're right. The old UPS. But yes, I see your lips moving, but only hear blah, blah. Idle Cutoff. That's, my wife says that all the time. Brilliant. Here we go again with this Egypt. 30 in a row, Sunjammer. Thank you very much indeed. Your man's, he's a sound fella, you know. Muttley, good afternoon. Hope you're well. Spitfire RAF 100 is here in the chat. Happy Thursday to you, bud. Sir Camsalot, my dude. Hope you're well, man. A very happy Thursday. Mac Vision is here. Good to see you. I'm Pierce says the Coronado Seneca was my first reasonably detailed general aviation aircraft. Do you know? I remember that. Do you remember that in the early days of Flight Sim 2020? Like, we had the default fleet, and then suddenly Coronado came out with aircraft, and we were like, "You can open the doors." That was the level of our expectations back then. You know, now we're like, well, we've moved on from that, but you could open the doors. Yeah, right. That was the big thing. Very, very funny. Bearcat, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're well. Checking in from Atlanta. Elric is in the house. Murph, thank you for the best entertainment available on any screen. You're very kind. Jesus. Isn't that lovely, right? Considering, you know. Where's this now? This was an FSX, says I'm Pierce. Was it from this company, though? I don't think so. You know, I don't think so. But I'm looking forward to seeing what this does. I can't move my mouse because I'm using all sorts of science. Where's this now? Who else is here? Das Griebet, good day to you, sir. AK Fast is in the house. Welcome in, buddy. Kubi Montana. Good day to you, Kubi. Hope all is well in Montana. Sim Guy is here. Dave Cleary. Legend Dave. Welcome back, Dave. Good to see you, bud. And well, you're looking well. You're looking well. But Yeah, it's another wet one, says Alaric, is it? We're not too bad here. It was raining this morning. As I said, I was up early, dropped the missus in, came back, arse around at that for a while, lost complete track of time, got doing other stuff. And then I said, right, I better go for a shower and like start my day. And I was like, it's like 11:15. I was like, yeah, I'd be grand. And then I was like, wait, I'm supposed to stream at 11. Hey, right, you know, the time capsule piece was slightly, you know, but we're all grand. We're here now, and sure, we don't need to worry about it. Do you know what I mean? It's Mats. Thank you indeed for the follow. Good to see you, bud. And hope you're very well. It's Andy. Welcome in, Andy. So shall we go have a look at this? And as I said, we're going to do a flight in this, and we're going to start planning our VATSIM, our ATC flight for this evening. I don't know where we get VATSIM coverage, but I'm more than likely using the same intentions anyway. But anyway, we'll see. Wild River, welcome in. We'll see what the crack is. What's an hour between mates? What's an hour between mates? It depends. If it was lashing rain and you're waiting on a bus stop, I mean, they started wars for less, Elric. You know what I mean? Stick figure, good to see you. If anyone has any questions when it comes to X-Plane or Microsoft Flight Sim, hardware, checking hardware, right? If you have any questions on how do you make that work, or what do you mean by that, or you know what I mean, just ask. Just ask. We have to rely a lot when it comes to tutorial videos, but in a live stream, well, we have a lot of advantages. You see, you can just ask the question, and if I know the answer, you'll get the correct answer. Right. If I don't know the answer, you'll get an incorrect answer. But either way, you'll get an answer. Right. That's how this all works. So do be sure to ask. If you have any questions on how any of the gear or the gadgets work, let us know, lads. I'd be only delighted to tell you, Anyway, right, we'll do one of these, look. And we'll come over here and we'll be checking out this machine, right? You do what to your hardware? Are those hands small? Yeah, thanks for the questions, lads. The Fireflies do ask the burning questions when it comes to flight simulation. These are a great bunch of lads. A great bunch of lads. Am I on game or studio drivers? I'm on game drivers. The reason why I'm on game drivers is primarily because I want to use the faster frame gen. Right? In a Murph live stream, we learn how to break things. Yes, we do. How does a PC work? You turn it on, magic, and it works, right? Gav is here, good to see you. Elric, thank you for 55, and Gav, thank you for 135. You're very kind, lads. So here we are, as I said, this is the Piper PA34 Seneca II. Doesn't it look very, very pretty? And as I said, we're here in X-Plane 12, which is going to be getting an update soon. But as you can see from this aircraft, it is a twin engine. And, well, we can just, looking around the aircraft, we just want to kind of get an out of scale for it, right? Because it does look terribly, terribly nice. Beautiful modeling, excellent textures. Like, it is absolutely gorgeous. I just need to zoom out here because my camera won't go up. There we go. That gives you a better, doesn't it? A better kind of look at the owl machine here now as we're checking it out. It's a very nice livery. This is a default livery that comes with it. It comes with a number of different liveries. This should be a laugh, says Malky. Inbound to Dublin, and there's quite a large magenta on the weather radar. Oh yeah, heavy rain. All sorts of downpours hitting Dublin. Yeah. P.S. Miranda, hello there. Welcome in. So, isn't it pretty? Now, I'll go off and get some information regarding CIS because I've never used their products before. I've been using Vulcan PAFM, Papa Alpha Foxtrot Mike. That's the airport we're at. I've used pretty much every add-on you can think of in X-Plane over the years. Pretty much all of them, because I look at something and go, yeah, that's I'll try that, right? And this one I'm very excited about. So let's see what I can do over here. So let's go to their website, CIS Seneca, right? So we'll go over to the website and show you what the crack is. We'll have it out gawk, right? When it decides to load. Downrange, good to see you. Techno Brian is out now. Is that Haneda downrange or JTT? We need to do a flight out of there soon. I'm probably going to do a 777 flight out of there soon. So here we have the Seneca. We're going to learn a little bit about it, right? It's a 6-seat turbocharged 200 horsepower twin engine, a ceiling of 26,000 feet, and a range of 850 nautical miles, right? The Seneca II is considered one of the most versatile aircraft in its category. So what do we get from the developers? Well, it's an accurate 3D model, PBR materials, new aircraft flight model, realistic weight and balance system, rain windshield effects, fully modeled systems, and cockpit. We also have compatibility for Reality XP's GNS and GTN units. G5 also works. Avitab integration. The systems cover the fuel system, the oxygen system, anti-servo and trim behavior. And also the engine behavior is modeled to the real aircraft. It comes with 2 variants. You can get a 2-bladed prop or indeed a 3-bladed prop. It also has its own FMOD sound package, multiple panel configurations. It features the CIS Aircraft Manager for updates. We also have full VR capability. As I mentioned, they also do the Seminole and the Chieftain. Now, this aircraft, it's $38.95 US, right? So it's up there, but for X-Plane, it's not exactly like, you know, it's about normal, right? It's about normal. So what we have here, the Captain Iceman series, CIS. I had a listen to this gentleman. He was on Q8 stream, and he was just talking about development and how they do their stuff. This is a guy who, I haven't spoken to him, I haven't met him, sounds terribly passionate about what he's doing, and you can kind of see that in the aircraft. Do you know what I mean? So it's an interesting machine. This is for us, it's very much a utility aircraft, because we categorize this by what's its capacity, what's its range, and what's its speed. Right, so we do have turbocharged engines, a service ceiling of 26,000 and a range of about 750 nautical miles. Not the biggest in its range, right? We know we you know, you go King Air and you're looking at probably, you know, 900 to 1100 nautical miles, right? But this thing can still haul ass, and it does look beautiful. We'll go through all the looks here now. The details that define this aircraft is built with that because it has combined aircraft-specific flight behavior, detailed systems, avionics compatibility, immersive sound, and a modern Jetstream update workflow for X-Plane. And as we see, it's tuned for X-Plane, more than visuals. We've lots of stuff going on here, and it's built for serious sim setups, right? And also some flexible cockpit workflows. And it's pretty cool looking, right? They have various paint kits. You can browse different liveries, different models here as well. So it's all part of Jetstream. This is the website that sells them, Jetstream, and it has the Captain Iceman series, CIS, right? Downrange, it is an ADA. Right. Malky has a passenger throwing up. Brilliant. QC Frank is here. Good to see you. Back on your way to work today. See your stomach holes on. Take it fierce handy, Frank. Filthy, good morning. Creo, a very good afternoon. Good to see you, lads. Welcome in. So this is, I'm looking forward to it, man. This is the machine, right? So, well, here it is in front of us. Here it is in front of us. And what I'm going to do, we'll turn back on our lossless scaling because I had issues with X-Plane. I now need to run it in windowed mode, but I think that was a Murphy issue rather than anyone else, right? So as we're looking at the aircraft, I mean, look at the detailing. We've tons of detailing, beautiful textures. There's great modeling here as well. We also have clickable spots to our remove before flight, so we'll get rid of the intake covers. We'll come on up here. We also have our oil quantity, and the aircraft is very much alive. And what I mean by that is, when you're flying this aircraft, you'll be using oil, right? You'll be burning oil out the system. So you can see here in the dipstick how many quarts of oil that you have, and you can top all this up. If you need to top it up, you click on the little canister here, and that'll top it up. All right, so go ahead and close that. We can also remove our chocks, right? My cowl flaps are open. So we move around now towards the front of the aircraft, right? We have this, we have our windshield heater, which is, you see that on a lot of the older aircraft. It's just one section of the aircraft. It's like a screen heater and de-icer and all this. So we'll open up our nose cabin, our nose compartment. Inside here, we have a battery and a GPU. Now, lads, you need to be careful with this, because if you try and start the right or the left side engine, it'll connect with that and it'll go kabaloom. Right, you'll actually make shite of it. So you have to be careful. Don't leave that out there if you're starting the left engine. That's modelled. The prop will actually hit it and it'll go kabang. Yeah, right, and now you have a serious problem, right? So you need to be careful there. But again, if you look at some of the details, like, you know, slow your camera, Murph. Beautiful detail gone in here. You know, you can see what the engine is, and it's just done really, really well. Beautiful prop spinners. This is the 3-bladed prop variant, and if you can, you know, you get down and get right down, you can see the detail even on the brakes. Everything's modelled here, right? Everything's modelled on the aircraft, and it's very, very pretty indeed. So we can open up the doors. We have a latch up here on the top. and that'll give us access into the cabin. We've a door on the far side. But this is pretty much our walk around check. It's also, it's funny, right? You know, Microsoft Flight Sim give you an update that turns off walk around mode. X-Plane has its own payware feature that gives you walk around mode. It's funny how the Sims are. But anyway, there is a third-party walk around feature you can use for X-Plane, and this aircraft is fully compatible with it, which is good to know. So, yeah, everything's looking good here. We're going to jump inside the machine now. Welcome to the cockpit. We can hear the battery kind of doing its stuff. We'll open our little window here. So looking around inside, this is fitted with the TDXi GTN, right? So you can have a choice of different options here. If we go ahead and bring up our load sheet, you can see that we're using either a GNS 430, a 750, or we can go no GPS and just run this with VOR. We can also use a Garmin G5. If we don't want the standard glass, we can actually horse in a G5 unit in there if you have it. Barrow settings, that's grand. Fuel, so we can see the fuel. We can fuel the aircraft from here, or you go out to the wing and that's where you fuel it. We have our various weights and limits. We can see our oxygen level here, and we can see that our battery is connected to the external power unit. So this is our main kind of loading area, right? So this is where we'd add in weight and balance, and you can see then you get your summary over here. All right. So pilot, I suppose these are pounds. Pilot and front passenger. So we'll put in my weight, and we'll balance it off there with Jemima sitting beside us, right? And then we have seating here we can add in, and then we've baggage in the back as well. All right. And as we're doing this, we can see the center of gravity move. All of this moves, right? So that's us loaded. So we're finished with this guy. Pop him back in there. Away he goes. And as we're looking around in the aircraft, beautiful details here, gorgeous modeling and textures. Everything looks really, really good, right? And we can see here fuel shut-off valves. And there's also state saving. The aircraft remembers what condition you left it in, which is nice. But yeah, this is a nice machine. The Seneca was always a nice aircraft. And we'll go back here now and get that door closed. There is a table. I don't know if you can like slot the table in, but there is a table. And it is, you know, a traditionally old Piper, curtains and all this kind of stuff in the windows. Looks really nice, though. So we'll go ahead and get this door closed. Come hither. And we'll latch it. And we can do the same. We have another door over the far side. So that's all looking good here now. Isn't it pretty? Isn't it nice? And we've all sorts of, there's all sorts of switches and stuff we can play with back here. It's done really, really well. So what we're going to do, we're going to start off with the electrics, right? So let me see. We'll disappear the yoke. We're going to come over here and we'll have a look. So this is where our mags all live. These are our landing lights. Then we've got our battery over here as well. So we're going to be, they should be off. We're going to bring OnAir into the equation. Woof! OnAir is getting tons of updates. So we're going to use the companion today. So we're going to enter the world of crash logistics. And we're just going to make sure that we are indeed connected to X-Plane. Flight Sim, X-Plane, we're up and running. Perfect. Connection, we're looking good. So we'll go to our dashboard. And nothing shouting out or giving out to me here now. We're going to fly this as a single pilot. And as I said, next week we'll be back with Firefly Air because our TBM is going to be on its way into Fort Lauderdale. All right. And we'll see what the crack is now. Oz Flight Simmer, good morning or good evening, Shane. I hope you're well, buddy. Hope you're well. So Operations Center, we'll go straight in. We'll look at freelance jobs. Now we know that the Quest or the FS Quest pandemic is currently running. Must do a flight on that soon. But we're going to go in and just browse the job market. And we're going to ask it, listen, detect everything from me sim. So by pressing this, OnAir will say, well, if it knows the aircraft, great. If it doesn't know the aircraft, you're in a bit of bother. But it's detected it. It knows we're in a PA-34 Seneca and we're going to be departing out of Ambler. Ambler is where we are. All right. Living the flight sim dream, right? Brilliant. Home Wrecker is here. Good to see you, bud. So let's have a look on the map to see where we are, right? So we're going to say, well, look, give us a cargo or passenger flight. And this is going to give us some of the jobs that are coming out of this area. There's a good few of them here, right? So where's my map? We need to find my map. Why did my map suddenly disappear? List or split, give us the map. So here's our map, and we can say, right, we've got a couple of flights here. Now we can go by distance. Some of these are like absolutely nuts. So there's shorter distances. Where's this one now? Ground vehicle spares, funeral attendees, be the Janie. There's a flight heading directly north. We'll get paid $2,600 for it. We've other jobs here. There's food crates and soldiers. are going up to that spot. Another one here, we have ground spares and ambassadorial delegations, Mr. Ambassador. So you can see all the different types of flights we can do with OnAir. It's only a matter of clicking on the map and see where they are actually going, right? Now, we flew this route the other day in Microsoft Flight Sim, and it was over to Anak Tuvok Pass, which is Papa Alpha Kilo Papa. So we're going to see, can we actually find our own flight here, right? So if we just do pick a destination, and we'll put in an ICAO code of PAKP. There it is. And we actually have flights here. So free flight, or we can take dishwashers and sale representatives. So we can actually take on an actual flight here rather than just doing like a free flight. We can do a passenger charter flight, and they'll pay us 2,800 quid for this. So it looks to be, this is going to be a nice simple flight, right? So we're going to take on this job. So it's going to be a flight from Ambler, and it's heading on over to Anak Tuvok. That's what we're going to do with OnAir. So we can get a briefing here. It can generate a full briefing as to what's going on, what's the backstory. So Mr. Silas Thorne, a renowned artisan specializing in custom metalwork, requires transport from Ambler up to Anak Tuvok Pass. He's traveling to finalize a commission sculpture for a local Anak Tuvok community project, a piece that will celebrate the region's rich cultural heritage. The sculpture's intricate components, though not explicitly hazardous, require careful handling during transport. Thorne is eager to oversee the final installation and ensure the piece meets the community expectations. Timely delivery is crucial. Right, that's what we need to do. Right, it's going to be busy. Welcome in. Trucks, welcome in. Good to see you, bud. So that's the mission brief, or at least that's the situation, right? So we're going to take this job. We're going to take it on as a job, right? So we can go off now and plan a full IFR flight. Well, we're going to chance going VFR. Let's see what happens with the weather. It's marginal VFR here, so we should be okay. So let's have a look. We can see our route, start and finish. We have an alternate down into Bettles if we need to go down. And we also have other stuff here. Crew and company, it's provided by the employer. Remember, we're freelance, so we're flying their aircraft with their crew, their fuel. So they've supplied all of this. So we need to take, it's a dishwasher and a sales rep. They just need to kind of make the story fit the right. But anyway, not enough fuel for the flight plan. So we want to top up fuel. So we're going to give ourselves 90% fuel. All right. Sim brief, or we can just do our own. We're going to do a direct to. That's the easiest way. We're going to be flying. Aircraft is overloaded. So okay, let's call it 80%. No, let's call it 75%. Now we're just in the limit. All right. So our aircraft is looking good. Passengers, 2 passengers. Cargo, it's a dishwasher, and then our route. It's 152 nautical miles. So we're going to order fuel and load the aircraft. And we need to set the time in the simulator now as well. So to do that, what is the current time? It is 0730 local time. So we need to make sure this is set. So I have an offset down here behind my head. We can do all this with OnAir. Look, it'll lock the time. So we've set it for UTC +5. So we'll do that. So we're going to say fly this now in the simulator. All right. Frank, the very best of luck, buddy. The very best of luck. So we can see here now, sim date is okay. Our fuel is good. Payload, model, sim settings, and our location. All here is looking good. We have our operational flight plan, even though it's point to point. So our routing is very straightforward. And we'll go in here now and hit start tracking. And OnAir will start monitoring every single thing that we do, from battery on, lights on, gear up, power, pitch, roll. It monitors everything, and we're going to be scored on that, right? So we know we're getting, $2,800 or whatever it is, but we also want to make sure we get our bonuses, because that's where we unlock our capabilities to grow ourselves and also our company inside the sim. And that could mean something like, for instance, we could say things like, I want to get extra points. I need my my retinue, my reputation needs to be high, and all this kind of stuff, right? So the airframe could not take the whole load. Payload reduced.
Your flight will be monitored until you shut down your engine.
Reduce the load on the dispatch form. Okay, that's interesting. Resume tracking, but we can't. Let me see. How do we go back here now? We have an issue. Houston, we've had a problem. So we'll go back into this guy. We're going to say, where's active job, Murph? Pending job, freelance, ongoing flights. So we have an issue here because I've put too much load in the aircraft. So I wonder, I probably just need to decrease the load in the aircraft, don't I? What's our carrying capacity? 344, max cargo is 11.7. All right, okay, that could have been the issue. That could have been the issue. Right, come back into this, and we want to go back into our operations center. We're going to ongoing flights. That's us. Crash logistics. We'll go to dispatch. So, conversation on, that's all fine, that's all fine. That's the aircraft. Flight briefing. No, don't need to listen to you. Wish you now for a second.
Cabin and hold secured. 2 passengers, 154 pounds of cargo, headed for Papa Alpha Kilo Papa.
Okay, we know what we're doing, but I'm not happy with the owl. I'm not happy with the latest thing giving out. Conditions. While your simulator loads, you can read the full... Okay, so we need to go back here. So payload. How do I go back and change this now? Let's see. Briefing, cancel flight, operational flight plan, position, or resume. I can cancel the flight, but it says auto set. So will this work? Let's see what happens. Sim Captain Mikey, good to see you. Okay, we're looking good now. So we just changed the weight. Right, we're grand. It says tracking in progress. Map and events, cargo and passengers. Our score. Yeah, we're looking good. Right, we're live now. Balls, it changed the time of day. Mother of Jesus, why did you change the time of day? I wonder, can I change the time? Or is OnAir going to lock it? Did it go 8:30 the other way? Huh. We need to be 8:30. But that looks like PM, does it not? Murphy, you're having issues. Flight configuration, time of day. Okay, so we're saying it's 0730. No, 0830. Right, apply that. Let's see what happens now. We're getting there eventually. Kill Switch is here. Good morning. Hope you're well, bud. Right, we'll see what happens here now. No data from the sim. That's okay. Give it a moment. It'll think about it and then load us in. She's a bit of a slow burn this morning, isn't it? Right, let's see. Finalizing AI. Why is it gone nighttime? That's very strange. Why did we go nighttime, lads? Right, back in here. Try it again. Freelance job. Right. Show leg, show map. Fly now. Simulator. Offset time to 0730. Departure local time is 0236. Offset will set time to 0736. Yeah, that's what we wanted. 75 is probably a bit much. We'll go 50%. And that should keep our weight down exactly where we are. Okay, fuel is done. Offset by 5 hours. Let's fly in the sim now. Everything's looking good here. Start tracking. Loading. 2 passengers on our cargo. ETA.
Tracking is live. The flight will be logged until you cut the engine.
Now, the sim says what time it is. But why is it like completely nighttime? Isn't that very strange? I don't get it. Like, the moon is out and everything. Although it does look very nice, doesn't it? Mud Dog is here. Good to see you. Heisenberg, good to see you. Yeah, I don't get it, lads. Why it's this time of the day. This is very strange, isn't it? Weight and balance. No. Not the weight and balance. It's the time. 0749 local. At what time does it get bright here? Is Alaska dark most of the time anyway? Yeah, but it was daytime when we were looking at our clock. You know what I mean? Maybe we need to bring it up a little bit later in the day. We'll figure this one out. Come back here. And go back in here. We'll try that again, right? So it's 07. We'll go 10:38. But it's, yeah, we'll go 10:38. It'll be, surely it's bright at this time of the day, right? Let's see what happens. Flight created, start tracking. And let's see will it synchronize the time of day. It could be a bug now, so, you know, we'll have to wait and see. Loading cargo and passengers. And tracking seems to be alive.
Tracker armed. We're monitoring through to engine off.
But it hasn't changed the time of day. So we said it was 11:30. Yeah, we got a bug. Right. On air settings. Is there a way we can say connection? That's fine. The simulator. I think there's a way we can say don't change the time. Because there seems to be realistic procedures, disable flight scoring. Oh, that's all fine. I wonder, can we do this through here? Preferences. Logistics routes. Let's have a quick look. Display, fixed connection errors, fixed blurry, exclude. No, that's all fine. That's all fine. Company actions. That's all fine. So it seems to have an issue with the time. In-flight emergencies or de-icing. That's all fine. Connection is grand here as well. How do we figure out this one now? I'll talk to OnAir, but it could be just an issue with the it could be just an issue. There's an option when you start the flight with OnAir. Yeah, no, as in that's where you can use your UTC offset. You know what I mean? But it doesn't seem to be doing it for me. Right. Let's try that again. Operations Center, freelance, track flight. I don't see it in here. We're going to abort this fella again. And abort the flight. Right. Now come back in here. We're going to say fly now. I've options down the bottom. And it says AI can't do freelance. That's fine. UTC offset. This is where the issue is. Right. So we're going to load all this again. Offset will be much later. And then when I say fly it in the sim, it starts synchronizing everything. So the date check disabled. So we can't change the date. Fuel, model, location. That's all grand. And then there's nothing in here I can do about timing. So we'll say start tracking. And hopefully this changes the time. It may not. So it's synchronizing with the sim. It's loading the aircraft. No, she ain't changing it. Look.
Tracking is live. The flight will be logged until you cut the engine.
I'll need to talk to OnAir on that. Because it does have the... Although it looks like it set my time to 11:41 UTC. Rather than the in-sim time. Very strange, man. So, UTC offset. 11:41 in my sim. So it's reading my sim. It doesn't seem to be loading or changing X-Plane's time. Does that make sense? We'll try it one last time, and if not, we'll have to take it on as just a freelance job without changing the time and date. Yeah, she's not doing it. So it appears that it's locking in.
Your flight will be monitored
My
until
time,
you
not
shut
theirs.
down your engine.
Now, do you know what? It'll be interesting. We can actually help them out here a bit more. What if we use the standard OnAir app? Do you know what I mean? Maybe it's just an issue with the companion. We'll try OnAir company itself. Maybe sync your Windows time. No, it knows what time I'm at. It could be OnAir. It could be the aircraft. Or it could be the companion app. So if it works on this one, at least I can go back to them to say, this happened, this is the workaround, and you know what I mean? So we'll try it using this one. This is their standard Windows app. They're still working on the companion app, like it's still classed as a beta, so that's where it's at. So if we go into our dashboard, And we want to go to our flight. So here we go. Same flight. We'll say fly now. And let's see what we can do. So that's all grand. That's our fuel. There are our weights. Our destination is going to be PA... KP, is it? There we go. So this is, we'll try the UTC offset here. So we'll go to 0743 in the sim. Right, so that's all good. Validate our fuel. Fly now. Starting flight. Launching the tracker. Tracking is live. Start tracking. It could be an X-plane issue, lads. Yeah, again, doesn't seem to work. And just make sure. Yeah, we can't seem to change the time. We'll try one more thing because I have a feeling this works. Abort. Yes. Yes. We'll go back into dashboard. I wonder will this flight still be there? If not, we'll just pick a new one. It is there. So let's change the time to much later. It's going to PAKP. Load the aircraft, and then we'll change our UTC. So we're going to bring this all the way up to about 1244. Offset +1. That's actually +10. Let's try it this way. And this will be our last attempt, and let's see if it works. Start tracking. Auto set is disabled for date and time. Yeah, no, she's not doing it. She ain't doing it. So I don't think it's an on-air thing. I'd say it's an X-plane thing, and I'd say it's an X-plane thing. Preferences, company UTC offset. I think there should be a way that we can exclude or don't change the time. Don't force sim time. Right. So I have a button here to say don't force the in-sim time. So if I go back now and change my time, on-air shouldn't be given out to me. Come on now. Save. Right, let's try this again. So we should be able to lock our or should be able to unlock our time without on-air changing it. Ah, Jace, come on air. Disable landing penalties. Don't force sim time. Save. Right. Let's go back into our fight. And we'll go back in and do one more thing. Dashboard. It sounds like my battery has died. This is going to be hilarious. We're going to fly now. PAKP. There is no UTC offset. And let's just see will it respond now. Is live time and X-plane turned off? I mean, you can lock it to track real world time, but you can't do that with on air. You know what I mean? It'll get upset. We'll reload it and see what happens. If it doesn't work, we can work around it. Like, we don't need to have the time logged. But at least I can go back to them to say, right, aircraft, it won't sync time. It knows the date, or sorry, it won't unsync the time, if that makes sense. Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? We'll see what the crack is here now. Aha, right, it did something. Now, it's 8:30 in the morning and it's bright. So there wasn't something right going on. Now, if I go start flight now, let's just see what on air does. Will it change the time? See the way it changed the time? So it is kind of working. It is kind of working. Let's just go with that.
That's a big 10-4, good buddy.
Because it's daytime and we can see what's happening. Do you know what I mean? And that's the way to do it. It's like, yeah, so we'll have a look. It's Smithers is here. Thank you very much indeed. Cheers, buddy. Right, so on air is tracking us over there in the corner. And now we're going to go focusing on this aircraft, right? So we're going to start off with the battery. Battery master coming on. Get our alternators turned on. We'll also get our nav anti-collision lights, right? And we can pull down this guy here, and this is going to show our magnetos. So that's the first bit of the jigsaw. Next up, throttle. We're going to go prop full. We're going to go mixture rich on the right-hand side. Open that a small bit. Make sure that our fuel tanks are turned on, which they are. We don't need heater fans or any of that jazz. What else we want to do? We have lights here for our radios and all. That's all looking good. Landing gear is in the down position, and it's going to be fuel, prime, and then we'll go for it, right? So mags are on. We're going to come down here and open the fuel. And we'll go for a prime on the right side. You can kind of hear it. It's a very light sound on the electrical pump. That's pretty cool. In a Boxman is here. Good to see you, bud. Right, we shall say clear as a prop. And let's see what happens, right? Give it an old blast. Not enough primage. Try it again. We'll add more prime into the equation. And we'll try that now. Oh, let's see. We can see our fuel. We can go high on the fuel flow. Prime. No. It's as if she's not getting fuel. There she goes.
Your flight will be monitored until you land and shut down the engines.
Alright, go start on the right hand side. Now this is where you have to be very careful. Because we left our little GPU out there. Right? So if you don't remove that, you're going to be shagged. So we need to disconnect this guy now. Well, I'll show you what happens for science. I better not. I will for the crack. Hang on. This is going to be hilarious. Because whatever happens, it manages to catch it. Right? Try it again there, Murph. Or at least it did do this the last day. Maybe she won't do it this day. But the last time I tried it, it caught and it went Kilblamo, which was no fun at all, right? Right, close this. And let's try that again. So we need to get some fuel in here. And we'll open this guy up. And we'll go ahead and give her a prime. So there's fuel coming in. And let's see what happens. And she fires. Beautiful sounds. Really good sounds, isn't there? Right, now let's come on down here and just double check. So we're finished with our mags. Anti-collision lights are already on. Pitot heat can come on. Fuel boosters off. Alternators are on. We also have a headphone jack. Very nice. Right. Turn on the Avi tab if we want it. Autopilot controls. I wonder is there a servo for that? Let's have a look. As we move across, now you don't get circuit breakers on this, which is odd, as in they're not modelled, you know, but they're there if you want them, but you know. Right, next up we need to put some avionics into this machine. Avionics warming up, and we got our Garmin unit up and running. And we're going to OK all of this. I will go to our flight plan. So our waypoint is going to be Papa Alpha Kilo.
TOS. System test OK.
Okay. So we go to our map. We're on CDI. Let's get our weather radar up and running here now as well. And we're going to do a new flight for where we are on the ground. So we're starting off at PAFM. And our destination, it's direct to. Destination is going to be PAKP, and we'll put that in. So that's all looking good. The next bit of the jigsaw is going to be with, say, intentions. So let's see what we can do here. We're going to say new flight, and I want to make sure that I have the correct call sign because, you know, it's me. What we're using for a call sign this morning: settings, aircraft call sign. We're no longer postman 235. We'll go with November. 235 Romeo Mike. And that'll do lovely there. Okay, so our call sign is set. And we have the ability, as I said, to change our radio frequencies and all this inside of X-Plane. It's deadly. See if you have a look at my GTN here, see the standby frequency? That's all being controlled by say intentions. That's deadly, isn't it? It's deadly. So, what do we have here? We do have an ATIS, 132.1.
00 feet. Embraer Airport. Automated weather observation. 1056 Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility 8. Fuel at 4400. Temperature 0. Dew point -1. Altimeter 3015.
3015.
Density altitude -1600
She's
feet.
giving out about the gyro air.
Embraer Airport. Automated weather observation.
We'll need to watch for that.
105.
We shall need to watch that. So go CTAF. It's not like, and so where can we see the, let me see, amps, oil, fuel, cylinder head, oil, fuel, that's grand. That's all prop de-icer stuff. Exhaust gas temperature's fine. Gyro. Okay, well she is working, so maybe it's just because we're low RPM. Maybe, right? We'll see what the crack is here now. So let me see, we'll give it a now announcement to say where we are. Let's see here now, we'll do one of those. And let's have a look. So we're here at the base of runway 01. Ambler traffic, November 235 Romeo Mike. We are a Piper Seneca. We're going to be taxiing down to runway 19er, Ambler. So we need to get down to 19 because the wind is coming in from behind us, right? So, off the brakes. Bit of power. Oh, Betsy. There we go. And I think we have say intentions aircraft around us. I'm sure we have. Ooh, the engine sounds are good. So we'll go this way. Ambler, November 235 Romeo Mike, back taxiing runway 0119er, Ambler.
Approaching runway 1.
Easy now. Alright, up the hill we go as we back taxi. We will use flaps for takeoff.
On runway 1 remaining. 3,500 feet.
Okay, weather radar's on. Interesting weather above us, isn't it? Jeff J. Jefferson, good to see you, bud. Welcome in. It's me, Stubby, welcome in. In a Boxman, welcome in. Lads, great to see you. Yeah, I don't know what it was with the timing, so it could be the aircraft or it could be X-Plane, but I'll let OnAir know. The main thing is they're tracking our flight now in its entirety. Like, all that still works. You know what I mean?
Runway 1
so that's good.
2,300 feet.
Donnie Gnome is here. Good afternoon. Hope you're well, bud. Good to see you, man.
Hello there.
Pickle, welcome in. So we're just back taxiing here, lads, in the beautiful region of Alaska. Isn't that a pretty airplane? Oh, it's terribly nice. It's a real rough and ready little airfield, isn't it? Man, look at those engines though. Beautiful. Right, we're going to see is there space to do a run-up. Which I'm sure there is. So, on down the hill here a little bit. You haven't flown in the new Citation yet? Looks really good, doesn't it? Looks real good. I'm actually flying, I'm flying the Lineage again tonight, but we'll do a flight soon in the Citation. Yeah, so this Gyro Air, it's based on your RPM. It's low pressure.
That's a big 10-4, good
So
buddy.
we'll see what happens. Hey, Piper 201 Tango. Thank you very much indeed. 19 months, buddy. Cheers, man. Thank you very much indeed. Right, we'll do a quick run up before we get out of here. Get ourselves lined up, right? Godpoo, good to see you. Welcome in. Yeah, first time flying it, man. So we'll see how we get on with this. I'm actually going to do a run up on the runway because I'm half mad. Right, so we're going to hold the brakes and we will bring our RPM up.
9 remaining. 3,900.
So there's 15, 16, about 1800 on the RPM. Let's check our mag. So we'll go right side, right engine first. We'll drop the right mag. There's a drop, back to both. Regains. We'll try its left mag. There's the drop. We'll go back to both. Left engine, drop the right mag. There's a drop, back to both. Left mag. There's the drop. And back to both. RPM just shy of 2000. We're going to cycle our prop. There's 1. Governor kicks in. There's 2. And there's 3. What we're looking for there, we were looking for a drop in RPM, an increase in manifold pressure, and a drop off in our fuel flow. EGT is doing what it needs to do here as well. That is all grand. Cowl flaps are open. There's no carb heat from what I can see, so cowl flaps will do the job for us. We just need to close them. So we're looking good. All our lights are on. We're walking, we're talking, and we need to be squawking. We're going to go altitude reporting with VF4. And we're going to be tuning into center after this. That's going to be 119er 2. So we're going to say 119er 2. That's in our standby. We'll go ahead and give the center a shout for a bit of flight following. All right. This is X-Plane. Febro, good to see you. If you achieve to start the engines in less than 3 times, you're really good. Oh, really? I know, it's good L fun. Hayden O'Hara, thank you for the follow. If they are fuel-injected engines, there wouldn't be carb. Yeah, they're turbocharged, so correct. Yes. Correct. Right, flight director coming on. Heading. Let's sync our heading before we leave. So we're just going to turn this to heading. So we've armed all this in our little gadget. I don't have an altitude select, so we'll have to do that manually. I don't see like an altitude select anywhere, so we'll see what happens. So, Ambler, November 235 Romeo Mike, taking off runway 19er, departure to the south and then east. Ambler. Right, are we ready? So power coming in. We're going to hold our power here. Off the brakes. Try not to overboost.
Airspeed alive.
Beautiful sounds. There's 60 knots. Around 80 will rotate. Upsy daisy.
Rotate.
And we're flying. Positive rate. Gear up.
Airborne time logged.
Oh, this is pretty. This is very pretty. Oh, yeah. All right. Flaps coming in. Nose is going to drop on the trim. Easy does it. RPM back to smidgen. And I think we're looking good. So far, so good. Doing about 120. Nice bit of movement. We'll engage the autopilot. And we'll just ease back some of that power now. RPM coming back to about 2400. And we got some nice sounds. Nice sounds. This is beautiful. Augie, good to see you, buddy. Welcome in. Any idea when the A38 is coming to Xbox? I've no idea, buddy. No idea. Alright, let's see what the crack is here now. So we're flying in this kind of southerly direction. We'll be swinging around to the left-hand side. We're going to go and give center a shout. Let me see here now. And we'll see what they say. We'll stick on our headphones. Centre, very good afternoon. November 235 Romeo Mike, VFR request. On them head.
Mike, squawk 2254 and ident.
2254. 2254 and ident for 5 Romeo Mike. 2254. Enter. Ident. Let's see what happens now. So we're at 1,000.
Romeo Mike, radar contact, north south of Ambler Airport at 1200 feet. Ambler, altimeter 3011.
Roger, altimeter 3011, November 235 Romeo Mike is a PA 34. Request flight following. Our destination is Papa Alpha Kilo Papa. So far so good.
5 Romeo Mike, flight following approved. Radar contact, Ambler, altimeter 3011. No reported traffic.
Roger, 3011 for 5 Romeo Mike, thanks. All right, so we're going to do a left turn here now. We have some flight following, an extra pair of eyes and ears. Sim is a little bit, isn't it? A little bit heavy on frameage. Let's see here now. Left turn coming in. And we want to get ourselves back on track here to see what's happening. All right. I do like the sounds of the engines, so we'll keep them a little bit louder in the background as we're turning here. What is, out of interest, my frame rates? Yeah, they're not bad. So we continue our turn. So there's our first turn. We're still climbing here, so we get up to about 2,000 feet or so. And we just want to be mindful of the weather. So we'll do another left turn. Keep it going. That looks terribly pretty. Alright, we'll see what the crack is here now. So on our GPS we can now go ahead and arm nav mode. And that should capture. Altitude wise we're at 2,000. We'll have to climb quite a bit to get over some of these, so we're going to continue to climb here. Now I don't see a way that we can actually put in like vertical. Oh, we can here, look. So if I go altitude, I wonder, will that hold it? There's vertical speed coming in, so we can adjust our vertical speed, and then we'll hold on. We're going to hold on, let's say 6,000 and odd. Temps and pressures all in the green. EGT is looking good here as well. So manifold, we can go ahead and increase you a little bit. Keep an eye on our RPM, and we should be good. Performance is it's not having a good day today. Now this is the first time I'm doing a stream using windowed mode. Usually I don't use windowed mode, but such is life. I can't get the sim to work because it crashes the old Vulcan drivers. We will go ahead and bring in our cowl flaps. And we're kind of finished with the landing lights here now. Taxi lights as well. We'll just keep our strobe. They're nav lights. We'll keep our strobes on. As we pick up a bit of altitude. I gotta say, that's a very compelling scene there, lads, isn't it? Beautiful, beautiful scenery up here. It's stunning. We are using loss of scaling. I wonder, was that causing an issue? We're looking good though. Nice visual effects out of the aircraft as well. This is very pretty. All right, watch your speed. We continue to climb. We do have flight following, so we're going to be grand. We don't need to tell them too much. Alaska looks good. Yeah, it looks beautiful. And we've got to be careful. There's a cloud layer here ahead of us. So we just want to be careful with that. It's marginal VF4. We need to keep a bit of separation between these clouds. But yeah, we're not looking too bad. We're not looking too bad at all. Do you know? Let's see what we're doing down here. So we will capture nav mode. Oh, there's a sim. Pause. Oh, is X-Plane going to crash? Oh, let's see what happens here, lads. Bum, ba-dum, bum. We wait now. This is not looking good, lads, is it? Unscale. Loss of scaling is the problem. Stupid thing. Right, we'll have to figure that one out, won't we? Isn't there a way to get rid of a window bar? Did I have a bit of software that had window bar? No. Win bar. You know the way, like, if you're in windowed mode, I think that was the issue. Because otherwise I have to show half me screen, which is not ideal. We don't want to be doing that. So I need to say, well, what bit of software will actually make that screen do what I want? Any ideas, lads? No. We're coming up on 5,000 feet. Continue to climb. So loss of scaling is actually not working right. That's interesting. Never a dull moment, lads. Sure, there's not. X-Plane doing X-Plane things? Yeah, I think so. Unable to connect. What is going on here? So at 6,000, we're gonna hit altitude, and let's see what happens. So we're still climbing nicely. Airspeed is quite good as well. Temps and pressures are all in the green. Plane is flying really well. So we'll go to well, we better go +5 because we're technically VF4, so we'll go 6.5. Billy, good to see you, Billy. Welcome in, man. So we'll go 6.5 and then lock her in, right? Would you say X-Plane is better than 24? Nah. No, I think that to me, there's no better sim. They're both excellent sims. My personal preference is Microsoft Flight Sim. Only because what we can do in it. Right, altitude hold. Let's lock her in. It should be all smooth and nice, lads, is it? Yeah, it should be. I mean, look at that does look absolutely gorgeous, doesn't it? It looks gorgeous. I mean, look at the clouds and everything. Like, X-Plane is really doing well, you know? Window bar hider. Isn't that such a thing? Taskbar hide. No. How do I hide Windows title bar? So I'm trying to hide this bit up the very top, and I don't know how to do it. Because I need to run X-Plane with windowed mode. Hide the application box when in windowed mode. Will this figure it out? You can hide the Windows title bar and borders by using a third-party one. Windows Borderless Gaming. I thought I had one of those. Let's fire up Steam here for a second. Because I thought I had one. Right? Is there plenty of third-party planes? Oh yeah, there's a barrel load of planes. Barrel load of stuff. I'm doing a bit of science here now, lads, because loss of scaling is given out to the sim. Doesn't like it. So we'll log into Steam. I think I have a utility on Steam that'll do this for me. Come over here now, you. Up, you divil, you. And well, let's have a look. So we're looking at my library, and I need to find utilities. Because remember, I bought a program to do specifically this. Let me know what his shagging is, no? Let's see. Let us see. So lost the scaling, and that's there, and it works, but I'm getting issues with it. And I'm probably getting issues because lossless scaling is using Jesus. What's going on with me Windows size bars? Lossless scaling is not working. Borderless window, I think. Yeah. There's a border. Borderless gaming. There we go. Borderless gaming. BA border. We'll install it. Install. Yes. I'll see if this works. Ravenous Wolf, good to see you. Okay, borderless gaming. Launch it. Yes, go on. Give it an old blast and let's see what happens. Let's see if this works. I mean, if it does, we're going to be like elected. You know what I mean? Uh-oh. I just think X-Plane is not liking the fact that it's windowed. It's actually completely freezing now. Is it a display setting in the sim? I don't know. It could be the map we're using as well. I don't actually know. Like, I've always had X-Plane has always ran well for me until all of a sudden it stopped running well for me. Do you know? That's not good. We're in the dark now, lads. Do you ever have a feeling this is just going to freeze out the whole PC? Wait, we're live. Right, borderless gaming. X-Plane. So it has one for X-Plane. Make borderless. I think that worked. Did it work? I think it worked. Don't do it till you're finished. Grand. We're grand. Right, it worked. Science has worked. We have proven science and all appears to be well in the realm. Great news. I say great news, but now it's freaking out. Right. Ravenous, I'm good, buddy. I'm good. Just the usual bit of crack when it comes to software. Right. Jeez, look at the views we have up here. Look, this is gorgeous. Right, so we're heading towards our destination. Frame rates are good in the sim. Like 70 frames natively, like that's can't complain. And to me it seems somewhat butter smooth, although there is a bit of screen tearing, which is not ideal. See, my worry is well, unless I just run the sim now, but if this crashes out my whole PC, well then we're just having a bad day at the office. If I put it into full screen mode. We're getting a lot of pauses here, though. Ah, jeez. Can we not just have a day where things work? Like, what is actually going on? Restore that window for a minute. Huh. What happens if I take this out of... I think this is going to crash, you know that? Windowed simulator. Why can't I edit that? Graphics. Main monitor. Why can't I get out of this? Use VSync. Done. Oh, Jesus. Come on, will you? Why won't this let me edit it? Windowed simulator. Oh, hang on. That's odd. It's like the mouse is slightly off. How's that now, Jemima? I think we're working back as we should have. And frame rates are better. Right. Number one rule of flight sim, never tell anyone you're having trouble free. Yeah, 100%. Right, I think we're good now. Just remind me to put it back into windowed mode, will you? Because it absolutely breaks. It absolutely breaks. But I think we're looking a bit better now. No, we're not. Ah, Jesus! Life is not being enjoyed right now. What is going on? Can you explain to me what is wrong? The map enhancement, is that the issue? I don't know. I don't know. Is the A350 on the PlayStation? I think it is, isn't it? Mrs. TPHI is here. She's upside down and she's in the house. Good to see you, Mrs. Just don't say it's okay and it'll be okay. Yeah, it's not okay. And then it'll work. Yeah. It's a very beautiful scene, that, isn't it? No, now it's freezing. And I need to press a button to unfreeze it. Yeah, this is not going to work. This is not working. Bloody Jesus. Back into windowed simulator. We'll leave it in windowed simulator. I ain't going to friggin' touch it. Right? And let's just see what happens. Because it looks as if this thing only wants to run when it's in windowed, without anything messing with it. Go figure, right? But yes, we'll see what happens. It just means I have a stupid bar on the top of the screen, which I can probably fix. I can fix that. But if it keeps acting up, we'll have to abort our plan with X-Plane tonight. Right. Where are we flying to? We're heading up to Papa Alpha Kilo Papa. We're well on our way. I mean, we're going grand. Altitude is looking good. Temps and pressures are fine. Manifold pressure, I mean, we're pushing her hard, but she's well able for it. Well able for it. Fuel flow, not the most efficient. All right, we're burning all our fuel, so we can attempt to lower our fuel consumption. EGT is quite low, so let's drop back the right side. On the left side. And we're going to try and keep these guys balanced. Keeping an eye on our EGT here as well, right? So that's way more efficient. Let's go 15 gallons on each. And EGT is looking good. So we're now running way more efficiently. It's a nice view, isn't it? Yeah, it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. So I think the sim just wants to run in windowed mode, which is fair enough. It hasn't had a hiccup since, so we'll try not to touch it. You can't see it on your side. That's the main thing, because I use science over there. If I press this button, that's exactly what I see now. That top bar, you know. Silly o'clock question. Can you create the flight plan in SimBrief, file it in Say Intentions, and then have the crew available in the on-air flight? Yes, technically, yes, yes. On-air will ask you to do it on SimBrief anyway, so yeah, you could. Not a silly question at all. A great question. Jeez, look at the view though, isn't it beautiful here? Look at that, lads. That's very nice. Plastered Koala, you're very welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Jeez, that is lovely, isn't it? The only thing that's annoying me, as I said, I now have that stupid window bar on my screen, and like I have an OLED. These things are just liable to burn, you know. Yeah, Billy, no use of that. Alt enter, just nope. It's like, shag off, will you? It doesn't like it. But the main thing is everything's working. And if I use lossless scaling, I mean, unless I bring the target down, we can try it again. If I just lock it to, like, you know, 59 and try scaling it this way. Yeah, it's gorgeous, isn't it? It is gorgeous. So we'll run this for a moment and we'll see how well it tries to hold it. But if I get any more weirdness, stutters or freezing, I need to turn off loss scaling. Now we're at 6.5. We're you know what I mean? We better start climbing here a bit more, methinks. So let's see. We're going to go up the road by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, didn't like that. Altitude off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's throw us up the hill a bit. We're going to go 7,500. We might even have to go 8,500, lads. And the good news is we've plenty of speed here. Beautiful colours, isn't there? It is absolutely gorgeous. You updated the new NVIDIA driver this morning, and there was a new DLSS swapper, and the ghosting's all gone. Is there a new DLSS gadget? There is. Let's go in and have a quick gawk. Oh, there is, look. 3107129er. I'm on 107. Alright, let's grab the latest and greatest. And then for our Microsoft Flight Simulator, we'll bring you to the new one. In you go. And frame gen, in you go. We'll attempt to use science on that gadget. Now, if it doesn't work, we're giving out to D White, right? I'm just saying. This seems to be working okay now, doesn't it? I do believe we've managed to fix the thing that was giving us a headache. 7.5, we're going to hold that here. I reckon we're still going to need more than this, but for the moment, we're going to aim for 7.5. And we'll see how we get on, right? Man, the views are stunning. Okay, there's 7.5. Lock her in. And yeah, we're looking pretty sweet as, aren't we? Look at that, lads. Beautiful mountains. We were here in Microsoft Flight Sim the other day. It's just a gorgeous area, isn't it? All the mad colours and stuff you get. Like, it is absolutely gorgeous looking. Beautiful. It's very rich. Like, that's what the Apple Maps do. Do you know? It's lashing rain in England, is it? Jesus. Like, you can see one or two tiles are a bit off, but overall I think it is a fine looking setup. This absolutely gorgeous, isn't it? Isn't it an absolutely gorgeous looking twin engine plane though? Seneca is just beautiful. Lads, so far so good. What's the tunage? I forget what that's called actually. Hang on, we'll have a look now. It's from Epidemic Sound and it's called Milk and Money Bernadette. There you go. Hermit something, good afternoon, well good morning. Listening to you on about OnAir, I actually did an OnAir flight the other night without being connected to the sim. AI flew the route and landed at the specified airport. However, in order for me to continue any flying in OnAir, I must physically fly in the same original flight. Uh-oh. Well, unless you move your own pilot. You can move your pilot if you need to. You can ferry fly him to another location, Hermit. If it came to it, you know. I'm thinking we need more altitude. Let's go up to 8.5 here, lads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up the hill we go. EGT is still okay. Temps and pressures are okay. I'm just thinking our amps, they're showing a charge. Like if I turned off my old alternator, yeah, she drops. That's okay. So our electrical system's working fine. And not only that, right? What they've modelled here, it is correct. So we have our alternator left and right. See those? And how this works is, if I turn off one alternator, so the left is dead, the right alternator will shoot up. It takes its load, right? And if I do the same, turn them both on. If I turn off the right alternator, well, it goes to 0, right? But the left alternator carries the load. It's redundancy in an aircraft. That's why we have two alternators, but they're connected together. Each engine is driving its own alternator. And it's kind of the same idea with the mags, but they're obviously not connected. You have two magnetos on each engine, and if one mag fails, well, the other will keep you going. If they both fail, you've lost the engine, right? So, yeah, interesting stuff. That works really well. So 8.5 looks like it's going to be absolutely beautiful as we continue to climb, and we'll lock back in our altitude here now in a moment. So far the sim seems to be working well, so I think that fixed it. Great success! So we're going to lock ourselves in here now to 8,500 feet. Kershplunk. And let's see what the crack is. I want to go over here to the ATC window, and we'll keep on flying with this. Yeah, this is very pretty, isn't it? Like the clouds and the scattering of the clouds, and like that's all absolutely gorgeous, I think. Look at that, man. That is spectacular. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful, lads, isn't it? We're literally above the little cloud layer. Like, that's just gorgeous. Look at the detail over here in the distance, look. Like, it is absolutely fabulous looking, isn't it? X-Plane doing really well with the weather. I don't know if I already mentioned, but I love this sim. Yeah, I mean, look, it's I'm really liking this airplane as well. As I said, it's the first time I've flown this machine. I've flown the Seneca the sim before in Microsoft Flight Sim. And like, we're able to keep an eye on kind of the basics. But what runs here is the aircraft is a living, breathing machine. And what I mean by that is, we're going to be burning.
Mike Romeo Mike, contact Anchorage Center on 127.0.
Over to Anchorage Center 1270, 5 Romeo Mike. Good day. 1270. Anchorage Center, November 235 Romeo Mike, 8,500. And this plane from Ice Captain's really good. Yeah.
November 235 Romeo Mike, Anchorage Center. Good afternoon, Barrel Altimeter 29907.
29907, 5 Romeo Mike. 29907. All right, climber up there, Betsy. I'm very much enjoying exploring this aircraft, and these sort of flights where, you know, traditionally I'd say general aviation very much belongs in Microsoft Flight Sim, and you know, if you put the work into, you know, your map enhancement, and you know, it's I mean, you can see for yourselves, lads, it is very it's very impressive. I think it looks amazing, you know. Bought a 14-year-old Toyota Prius, having a ball trying to figure out how to squeeze every last drop of fuel out of it, up to 52 miles per gallon. Ooh, nice. Hey, Cornwolf is here. Good afternoon, man. Welcome in. Do you have the Auto Haze or X Pro Turbo installed? I don't have either. Would you? Are they good? I mean, I want to be careful what I throw at. Hang on. I wonder I'm not seeing other aircraft. Say intentions. Show name labels.
Hello there.
So if there is anyone flying in the world of Microsoft Flight Sim, we'll see you. You know what I mean? Goose. Good day, Goose. Mini Maverick, good to see you. I try to run as little as I can when it comes to the plugins, because they can just, it's just, you know, one thing leads to another. But I'd be very much looking at ways of enhancing how X-Plane performs and looks. Do you know, Nutty Taff is here, welcome in. Yeah, it is looking nice, lads. Like, I mean, look, it's saying, yeah, it does in X-Plane Oz. It's a sim problem. It's not a say intentions problem. So in X-Plane, you can display labels for VATSIM and with say intentions. Say intentions give you lots of options to scale them and change their colors. You know what I mean? Microsoft can't do that. I did ask them though, and Jorg was like, yeah, we'll do it. And then whatever they didn't do specifically what I had looked for. They did something else. So I imagine there was a breakdown in communication. Anyway, effectively what Microsoft Flight Sim was able to do, they were able to display your tail number on the aircraft, which is nice, but I wanted them to display the username, the gamer tag, if you were flying outside of the sim. So they will eventually add it, you know. The real game changers, Auto Haze modifies the haze rendering with data that X-Plane is not using, and X Pro Turb is reworking turbulence with a level D algorithm. And will it work with the map enhancement mod, that haze? You know, That's my question. Would it work with that? You know. With all the great add-ons, you have to make the sim looks better. The Great Plains add-ons we have for GA like this, really, really able. Yeah, it works with it. Okay, I'll look into that, Gogpoo. So what's it called? Auto haze. Auto haze. Auto haze. Explain. Let's have a look. Requires flybit Lua. Okay. Like, I have to say, haze was very good already. You know what I mean? Right, we'll download Auto Haze. And what's the other one? X Pro Turb, is it? X Pro Turb. Professional turbulence. It's now very mature and usable. For future versions, bug fixes, new features, donations will be sent via email first. Okay. It aims to take the Sims turbulence to a genuinely realistic level, not making it stronger, but making it right. Okay. Well, we'll go and grab 2 of those as well. Very interesting. Is this a fast cruise power setting? We're fairly fast, yes. I mean, we're at the top of our, danger zone. So we're doing 170 knots indicated. That's giving us about 190 over the ground. We're at 9,500 feet. EGT, temps and pressures, everything's in the green. So yeah, we're very, very comfortable at this. We are pushing the engine hard. Manifold pressure is as high as we can get it. Just shy of the red. But yeah, it's working well. No flight sim announcements at Gamescom this year. Really? That's mad. Mini Maverick said, how is X-Plane different to Microsoft Flight Sim? It's just a different platform, different ecosystem. It does a lot of things really well, does other things not bad at all. But, I've said that, if you're big into your flight simulators, as in you really enjoy your flight simulators, if you have the real estate on your PC, you want to be looking at this, Ricardo, good to see you. Morning from San Diego, California. Ooh, welcome in. No way, down where Top Gun was filmed. Fighter Town, USA. You're very welcome in, buddy. 2 different points of view flight simming. Microsoft Flight Sim, more game, visual orientated. X-Plane, more realism, simulation. Well, I mean, look it. You could say that, yeah, Microsoft is, like, it's not gamey. There's like, it's a simulator with gaming aspects, right? Or you could argue, no, it's a game, it's simulator aspects. I think they're both flight simulators. They are simulating flight in 2 different ways. Microsoft definitely nailing the visual side of it. Like, definitely, there's no 2 ways about it. Visually, Microsoft Flight Sim is nailing that. X-Plane is usually heavier on systems depth, Yeah, the live traffic, I don't bother with it because we have it, say intentions are working on traffic injection for this, Yeah, I thought Microsoft was on today's Xbox stream. Yeah, seemingly not. Oh, that's nuts, man. No flight sim announcements at Gamescom. That's really strange. I mean, there's a whole ton of them gone to Gamescom. And usually you'd expect the usual crack. Yeah, here's an aircraft. Here's a bit of scenery. Nothing? Doesn't seem right. Were they on stage, or were they going to be on stage? It's interesting. I'm not saying Microsoft Flight Sim is not a sim, but the objective they have is to make it playable for more people and more platforms. So that's limiting the work. Yeah, maybe. Like, it's gas, right? For the flight simulation hobby, right? And be you wanting to do real world training, or you want to experience aviation, right? Microsoft Flight Sim is definitely doing more, bringing new people into the genre. And I don't think anyone can argue against that. Like, when you think about it, other games have done this historically. Look at the closest look at the closest genre to flight sim, I would have to say it's sim racing, right? So sim racing, if you were to look at PC sim racing, you know, like iRacing and whatever else, and then you look at, well, the other racing platforms, be it Forza or, you know, Gran Turismo or whatever else, they're very gamified versions that have realistic stuff, right? But I think the objective they're targeting is getting more people to use it, and then they start discovering, well, hang on, what's this iRacing crack, or, you know, a set of courses up there, oh, so what's all this about, right? And I think that's very, very good. It's a good kind of system to benchmark it on. If you look at flight simulation, right, you'll say, yeah, P3D, not necessarily going to be ringing bells or whistles, but what's the easiest sim you can get into right now? Microsoft Flight Sim, because it's on the consoles and it's on the PC, and there's, you know, cloud gaming and all this. And I think a lot of people, when they get into the genre, they start looking around and they realize, well, hang on a second, what's this other simulator called X-Plane? What's this all about? And what's this DCS thing? What's that all about, right? If you started off with X-Plane, which an awful lot of people started out with X-Plane, me included, as in streaming at least, X-Plane went from being good-ish with limitations. When X-Plane 11 dropped, I think it transformed the sim. So since X-Plane 11, I think for Laminar, they've just been building on and on. So it is quite a mature platform. Then they brought Vulkan into it for its rendering engine. They moved it away from OpenGL. That meant it could work properly. It still has a way to go. You know, you can say the same about Microsoft Flight Sim. We will never ever have the perfect sim. We just won't, lads. You know, it's never happened. I don't think it will happen, you know. Day 2 of Gamescom starts at 3 p.m. I was told yesterday Microsoft Flight Sim is on then. I didn't see anything on the Microsoft blog. They said they don't have any updates until next week. I'd be very surprised if they don't have something to say. Do you know what I mean? We'll wait and see now, but yeah. Final rabbit, good to see you. To be honest, in my honest opinion, when simulating flight on a computer, I think leaning towards visual quality, which is really the only thing you can truly simulate. I think X-Plane devs realized that early on, and they started making the sim more visually appealing than P3D and FSX. Well, I think, you know, I mean, it's a fair point, right? I don't necessarily agree with it. You know, I mean, simulating aviation on a PC, visuals are important, but they're not the be all and the end all. It depends on what you're looking for. For example, when it comes to procedural based training and navigation and, you know, weather and ATC, that's what a flight sim is first and foremost. That's what you can do. From the visual quality of it, yes, you can utilize that in training. As I said, Microsoft Flight Sim out of the box gives you global VFR coverage. Global, right? Exacting detail. Plus or minus a couple of weird scenery objects. But by and large, it's VFR out of the box. X-Plane is not that. You have to roll up your sleeves and get into add-ons that can actually make that a thing, right? Now, it does have a lot of data there, but picking out various landmarks, you're going to be somewhat restricted. It has OS data, so it'll have like trees and rivers and forests and lakes and roads for the most part, right? And it is getting better, but to have that kind of VFR experience, Microsoft is light years ahead. Now, we talk about the weather. X-Plane out of the box, its weather engine is, I think, vastly superior to Microsoft Flight Sim. Not necessarily visually, although it is gorgeous, but technically their weather engine is vastly superior. But what's funny now is, I mean, with Microsoft Flight Sim, you throw in Strata weather and you put in, you know, Rex Atmos Core, but now you're up there. You know, now you're getting the visual and the technical experience, and it makes your sim look and feel totally different. You know, I may have jumped the gun. I thought all the Xbox stuff had been covered. I may have that wrong. Lucky I'm very good looking and not smart. It's our good looks that get us by, Oz. If we didn't have our good looks, you know what I mean? We'd have been in trouble. You'd expect something from there, Stu. Yeah, probably. Yeah. No, like listen. I love having these conversations between both sims because you're always going to get different perspectives. You know what I mean? And I don't think anyone is wrong. You don't have to agree with everyone's opinion, of course, but no one's going to be wrong. I mean, it's at the end of the day, isn't it great that we have two platforms currently where they're both at, and both of them are just getting better and better and better. You know what I mean? I think visually X-Plane has a slightly different look about it. Microsoft has its own, I don't want to say cartoonish, but that's certainly where the AAA development has gone. They kind of moved away from like photo real accuracy because it's whatever graphics and whatever they're doing, right? Now that's not to say you can't make it look real. Of course you can. X-Plane might look real, but by doing so, I mean, you can see the photo, you can see the photo textures, and you're like, it doesn't really work though, because maybe the shaders don't work well, or shadows on it don't work well, or you know what I mean. So you might say, oh, it doesn't look great. But from a visual comparison, like they do things slightly differently. X-Plane out of the box from the horizon up, very, very good. Like nails it. And I suppose systems depth, very, very good. I think when it comes to default aircraft, if you look at what Laminar have built and you look what Asobo have built, both are very good. But they're not the best. They're good, but they're not the best. Your third-party developers, that's why we need them. They have just, unreserved passion for building what it is they want to build and sharing that then with all of us for a price, of course, or you get freeware. But like, if you look at someone like Laminar, well, they got to build the sim, they have to do the engineering, they have to do all of these things. It's like with Microsoft, they have teams bolted on, they've working title, they have Gaia, they have Asobo, they've teams bolted on. Because if it was just going to be Microsoft and Asobo, and even back before they had working title, it was Microsoft Asobo in conjunction with Black Shark. Remember them? They were doing the AI autogen, and they moved on now. They're working on is it P3D? They're working on, For me, X-Plane looks a wee bit squished. It still looks good, but the planes look thinner than they should. Again, it might come down to, like, you have a lot of options in X-Plane in terms of setting your field of view and lateral offsets. So I think it just depends on who you're watching, where you're watching. Like, that probably helps it there, like, it condense things. Hey, Lenny is here. Good to see you. Can you get Murph to make dolphin sounds live? Colonel Fork, listen, don't you start now. But yeah, like, I think, there's stuff in X-Plane I would love to see in Microsoft Flight Sim and vice versa. But I still think they're both excellent sims. I mean, look at it, lads. This is beautiful. We're just, like, arsing around here flying, Yeah, Derek, it's probably a settings thing, I'd say. I mean, the resolution and proportions and all that kind of jazz in X-Plane it's excellent. In VR, I mean, X-Plane is real good in VR. Really good. Microsoft has a bit of a way to go there. ATC have been quiet. Let's grab the ATIS. 13575. 13575. And I'll need to go to COM 2. Now, is this going to be monitored?
OS 5. Visibility 10. Overcast at 4800. Temperature -1. Dew point -3.
Ooh.
Altimeter 3004. Density altitude 500 feet. Anik Tuvuk Pass Airport. Automated weather observation.
Alright, so there's an AWAS there that we have. We've picked that up. And we're nearly there. We're nearly there. Does X-Plane have night lighting pollution? Night lighting pollution. Yeah, the night lighting in X-Plane is really nice. Although Microsoft, I think, has gotten better in places. Not necessarily recently, but I think when you're flying over towns and cities and whatnot, Microsoft Flight Sim does a great job. X-Plane's lighting closer to the aircraft and on the ground, vastly superior. Vastly. How X-Plane handles like reflections of water and all this, that's excellent. You know. But yeah, I mean, look at it, as I say, like you know, there's a lot of people thinking, you know, oh, I've seen X-Plane, I'm watching X-Plane, but I don't want to, you know, I don't want to make the jump because it's going to be this, that, and the other. Like, just you don't need to make the jump. But I can promise you, you're going to have incredible experiences in X-Plane, just as you have in Microsoft Flight Sim. It depends on the aircraft, the type of flight you're going to do, but you're going to have, you will have an incredible experience with X-Plane. That's why I still use X-Plane, because I'll just have incredible experiences here. Like what I do in Microsoft Flight Sim. You know, I mean, where we're flying now, I think this is absolutely gorgeous with the cloud layers and how the lighting is bouncing off the clouds. Like, it's beautiful. It really, really is beautiful. And then the challenge you have, the weather closes in. You feel the weather a little bit different in X-Plane. It's just the way it is, you know. This will eventually come into Microsoft Flight Sim, though. Because Microsoft Flight Sim are getting much better with the weather. And you throw in something like Estrada, it's better. Derek had a great flight between Dusseldorf and Ponte Delgada. Nice. Hey, Martel, good to see you. Yeah, Shane, like, look at, I have my controls set up in X-Plane. They mimic Microsoft Flight Sim. Well, actually, Microsoft Flight Sim mimics exactly what I had in X-Plane. So for me, okay, give yourself an hour, cup of tea, right, cup of coffee, sit down for an hour and configure the sim. And then there's no headache in terms of what button do I use for that, what button do I use for that. You know what I mean? What I use here is exactly what I use in Microsoft Flight Sim. Exactly. The exact same button combinations, the same axis responses, everything. So there's no muscle memory or, you know, what's the button for this? Everything is linked. It's like for like. Within reason. Obviously, there's certain features of Microsoft Flight Sim that don't carry over and vice versa. But by and large, changing views, flying the aircraft, navigating, radios, all that stuff. So don't let that be a headache that might put you off. And even picking up X-Plane, I mean, if you're into airliners in any which way, the Zebo mod or the Level Up, they are exceptional aircraft and they're free. You know, your 24 is set up that way too. Yeah, which is not great because when I'm in 24 or 20, if I go to someone else's rig, I'm lost completely. I'm like, how do you control? I don't know the default Microsoft Flight Sim key bindings at all because I won't wipe them. I'll do my own thing. It's, you know, Goose used to have X-Plane 11, but you never reinstalled it since you got Microsoft Flight Sim. Again, it's you know, what are you getting out of your sim? Is it ticking all the boxes? You know, a huge reason for me to jump into X-Plane is, well, I want to fly that aircraft. I don't have it. I want to fly that one. You know, it's not in Microsoft Flight Sim. Like the 757 we flew the other day, when that drops in Microsoft Flight Sim, I'll fly the crap out of that in Microsoft Flight Sim. Unlikely to pick up X-Plane for the 75 unless, you know, Flight Factor drop a new update. The Lineage, I love flying the Lineage in X-Plane. I love flying, I really enjoyed flying the, what was that one? The Epic E1000. That was gorgeous. Do you know? That's what Steve Owen Knievel flies today. And that was a beautiful plane to fly. So, yeah, I think it's the aircraft are always going to be the one to twist your arm and get you in there, you know? I'm really enjoying this. I think this CIS.
Mike, connect with Pass Airport at your 2 o'clock, 17 miles. Change to advisory frequency approved. Radar services terminated. Block VFR.
Change to advisory approved. Radar services terminated. And we'll squawk VFR for November 235 Romeo Mike. Thanks for your help. A great bunch of lads. And we better go CTAF. 1228. 122.8. There's no tower here, so we just talk to CTAF. Which is better for force feedback? Explain. Explain has better data links and data points. Now, it's ahead, not by a country mile, it's ahead, but it's only because there's more data points. And you probably have, you just have better control over that sort of stuff. It's the same like if you were to say, I'm building a home cockpit, what's the better sim to explain? 100%. For home cockpit builders, I mean, I can disappear the entire virtual cockpit and just be, you know, flying out here for Wish. At the right resolution. There's actually a button that you just don't load in a 3D virtual cockpit. You can use that if you're a flight simmer that just wants to have, I just want to see the sim. Well, you can do it. Now, you can do the same in Microsoft Flight Sim, but it's a bit of faffing, you know. I may be the minority, but Microsoft Flight Sim has ticked all the buttons for my simming. And if there are any that aren't ticked, I'd be getting into DCX or DCS for a second sim. X-Plane has never offered me anything to pull me away. Yeah, no, it's. I don't think you're the minority there, Colonel Fork. I think there's a lot of people who would agree with you. Like, what would draw them into X-Plane? Visually, yeah. The weather, yeah. Aircraft are the one thing that's going to draw people in. DCS is a standalone. It does its own thing. It's combat, and if you want that proper combat experience, that's where you're going to go to DCS. It is the only show in town, I think. You know, for that level of immersion and fidelity when it comes to a combat sim. You know. Chase plane is awesome, Ravenous Wolf. Chase plane is awesome. I love it. But yeah, like, I mean, if you know, unless you, if you're getting a little bit jaded of any platform, maybe you're an X-Plane and you'll say, yeah, I'll give Microsoft a shot, or vice versa. If you're getting a little bit jaded or there's an aircraft you really want to try out, that's what you do, you know. Right, so we're going to start dropping altitude here. We have runways 2 or 20. What was that? What was the wind?
0 feet.
Wind is
Anik
05.
Airport. Automated weather observation. 11560.
All right. Anik Tuvok traffic, November 235 Romeo Mike. We are a Piper 34. Inbound, we're going to be doing a full stop runway 2. Anik Tunkum. Right, autopilot. Away. We're going to ease off our power here. Down through the clouds. This is silly. We'll just try and ease our way in. I'm glad they both exist. Yeah, 100%. It drives innovation. It really does. As I said, if you know, my favorite sim is Microsoft Flight Sim, but I like X-Plane, man. I do really have some nice flying experiences. Do the Gremlins and X-Plane match those in Microsoft Flight Sim? They can. Yeah, they absolutely can. This is going to be interesting now. Watch your speed here, Murph. Watch your rate of descent. We don't have to plow this into a mountain. What did they say? It was overcast at 6,000, so yeah, we may start dropping in. So we're in the clouds here now at the minute. Let's see what's going to happen. Watch the rate of descent. Watch your speed. And there's 5,500. Slower rate of descent. We suddenly don't want a mountain to appear. Trying to use my terrain radar as best we can. Watch our power. Easy plane. That's like almost stall speed, Murph. Oh, she's very now I know we're in the clouds and we're getting bashed around, but she's very nose weirdness, isn't it? Nose weirdness. Do you know what I mean? We're still quite high. Watch your speed. 5,000. We're getting stutters. Don't like stutters. We're directly over the airport. I just want to break down through this cloud layer, which we're about to do. There we go. Satellite imagery, not too good up here. Makes total sense though. The place is covered in clouds.
Sync rate.
All right.
Sync rate.
Inhibit TAWs there. Superb example of how IMC can be disorientate a pilot. Oh, absolutely. I went completely white there, you know. Who's this? Tommy LP, welcome in, buddy. Am I using Bing Map? No, this is Apple Map. Apple Maps are quite good. Alright, altitude's coming down. Watch a mixture here.
Terrain ahead.
Anactovic traffic.
Terrain ahead.
5 Romeo Mike. We're going to do a right downwind. Full stop, runway 02.
Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead.
Hang on now. I want to turn off that inhibitor.
Terrain ahead.
Right. Alright, watch your speed. And we'll start turning here to the right. We're just below that cloud layer. There's actually a lot of cloud here. And that's the thing, like you get a cloud like that captured on the satellite. That's where it's like
500.
ArcGIS is one of the better ones for Alaska. Yeah. For the most part, Apple Maps is great. This region, no, it's not good at all. And that's only because there's a big cloud, which makes sense considering look at the clouds we have here. So the area is prone to clouds. You know what I mean? See what we can do. Take your time now. Watch your speed. Bit of trim. Take the pressure off. There we go. Speed is still a little bit high, but we're okay. We're probably a little bit low here as well. Up the hill. Up the hill a little bit. Let me see what's happening. As long as we don't crash, we're good. I agree. Keep an eye out for like big mountains that we could potentially hit. I do need to dial in some settings of this plane, the feel of it, and it does come with its own. Like you can really dial in the response curves. Whether or not you can do it in the Seneca, I know you can definitely do it in their latest aircraft. You know. All right, gear coming down. That's a runway. Lots of flaps here as well. And we'll be turning right base here now in a moment. Yeah, you can do it with the Chieftain. Yeah, I'll probably pick up the Chieftain, to be honest. I'm really enjoying this plane. It's really good. Anactovic, 5 Romeo Mike. We're going to be turning right base, runway 02, Anactovic. Alright, watch your speed. Prop full, mixture rich, gears down, flaps fully set. Watch our bank angle here. OnAir mightn't like this. Watch our height. Get ourselves turned around. Easy now. Here's the runway. Speed is looking good. We over kind of turned that one a bit. Anactovic, 5 Romeo Mike, short final 02, full stop. Anactovic.
500.
500. Let's get ourselves lined in. Conti can't stop flying the Chieftain. Oh, really? We need to check it out. Haggard, good to see you. This your neck of the woods, buddy? It's beautiful. Yeah, I haven't tried the Chieftain yet. This is my first foray into CIS. I'm impressed. They're very good. They're solid aircraft. Alright, easy does it. Around 80 knots. Watch our flare as we come in. Alright, hold the nose. Power idle. Hold it there. Hold it there. we're down.
Landing time logged.
Bit of a little slack, but we're all right. Flaps coming in, and we're going to taxi to the ramp. All right. Beautiful. Quite cold up here as well. Really, it's cold in Alaska. It's cold here. There's snow cover coming as well. And there's also objects, new objects coming into the map enhancement for Microsoft Flight Sim. Did you see that? They're adding in now new buildings. That's going to be cool. It's like it's a gravel runway here, but sure, it's grand. I'm on over here to the ramp. Easy does it. The snow cover is great. Yeah, I must try those other add-ons, you know. It's grand until you hit a speed bump. I agree. Yeah, it's pure gravel here. Alright, there's a little Cessna there. Alrighty. Try and park her up here. Yeah, if you have like you look at if you're able to use differential thrust, it makes flying twins way better. Alright, parking brake coming on. And let's go in here and turn off our avionics. Weather radar goes to off. We got our landing lights off, strobes off. Peter, he can come down. What else we want to do here? Cowl flaps. No, we'll keep them closed. We'll wrap up the airplane here. Autopilot unit is already off. We're looking good. So right side out, left side out. And fed
Engine off time logged. The flight is finished. It has been monitored by OnAir.
Nice. OnAir got our full flight. We got our mags turned off here as well. Get that closed. And alternators. And our battery master. Super duper. And we'll horse our chocks in, get our intake covers on, and our pitot cover on. And that's our machine parked up for today's flight. We did well. So we're going to go back over to OnAir and let's get a full debrief of of how we did, lads. So landing rate was decent, 90. We got some good points here. Let's go in and look at our full record. Let's just see what OnAir made of our flight. So we actually got full points. We got maximum score. This is a full rundown of our flight. All the little dots that you see, these are various tasks you've done with the aircraft. Gear up, flaps in, lights off. So that was our route. So we got a nice takeoff. We kind of flew the pattern and then we exited to the northeast and we climbed then. And it was pretty much, you know, as the crow flies. It's VFR, so we just climbed up to 8.5 and we sailed all the way up. Our approach is interesting. I probably left it a little bit too tight. I tried to enter on the left and then swing around. But bad visibility did that. You can see where we descended rapidly here. Nothing too bad, but, you know, our touchdown point is roughly here, so we weren't too bad. Was that touchdown? Flap set to 0, so we touched here, I'd say. Touchdown, so we were actually bang on, right? It's a gravel runway, so we've no markings, but looking at the length of the runway, we were fairly bang on there with what we did. So if you look at our entire flight, we get a full breakdown, maximum G-forces, gear over speed. Like, we scored maximum points. So it was the perfect flight. And that's the real strength of OnAir. Outside of the career progress and, you know, the industrial progress that you can do with OnAir, it's the fact that it's monitoring. You can go back and say, that's what I did wrong. Shouldn't have done that. It's a great tool for kind of reliving your flight and understanding exactly what happened. Now, Say Intentions also does the same when it comes to your voice procedure. And I'll show you that here now. So if we look at Say Intentions, for example, and if I show you my flight log, right? Now, it might take a few moments, but I'm happy enough here with everything with OnAir. So we'll go back here and we're going to finish the flight. And we got some money, we got some experience points as well. So that all worked terribly, terribly well. And we have the log here as well. So that was all perfect. Now, if we have a look on, say, intentions, if we look at our last flight, which is VF4, right? I think this is it. Let's see, will she load the L map for me? So it might take a few minutes for this to come in. 27th of August, so this is us. Failed to load the flight. So it's still working on it. Now we can close the active flight. Let's see what happens here. It looks like she's updating there now. There it is. There's the flight. So if we go in and have a look. So it's going to load all of our telemetry. Now, as I said, this might take a moment to load in because it's server based. Couldn't load the flight details. So it might just take a few minutes, you know. We'll go back into our flight log. So it's still working on it. But what we can do on any of your flights you do with say, intentions, your entire flight log. So here we go here, look. So what we can do, if we wanted to review our flight, yes, we can see where we flew. You can see the same track. But what you can do is say intentions. You can actually go in and listen to the calls. So here's one. This was me talking. Ambler, November 235 Romeo Mike, taking off runway 19er, departure to the south and then east, Ambler, which wasn't great. Or I can get in, okay, what did I announce here, right? So this is me talking on CTAF. Once we got airborne, I then gave a shout to center. So this was me. So this is the pilot. Center, very good afternoon. November 235 Romeo Mike, VF4 request. And then ATC came back.
5 Romeo Mike, squawk 2254 and ident.
And then I came back. 2254 and ident for 5 Romeo Mike. And then ATC.
5 Romeo Mike, radar contact, north south of Embraer Airport at 1200 feet. Embraer altimeter 3011.
And then what did I say? Roger, altimeter 3011, November 235 Romeo Mike is a PA 34. Request flight following. Our destination is Papa Alpha Kilo Papa. And then ATC.
5 Romeo Mike, flight following approved. Radar contact, Ambler altimeter 3011. No reported traffic.
So you get the idea how you can go back on any of your flights. All and any flight you do on, say, intentions. This is a wonderful training tool. It just is, because if ATC has said something to you and you didn't understand it, or maybe, you know, I told you to do this and you're like, no, you didn't. Go back through your log. And this is, you know, if you're looking at a map thinking, okay, when should I have given this crowd a shout? Like, this is where ATC handed me over.
5 Romeo Mike, inactive pass airport at your 2 o'clock 17 miles. Change to advisory frequency approved. Radar services terminated. Squawk VFR.
And that was the end of that. And then I gave my shouts coming in. Heads up, the field's about to swap runways. So that was CTAF. The direction of the runway is going to change. But isn't that a wonderful tool that you can get? I think it's absolutely deadly. And you can do this to go back on any flight. Any flight, you know? I wonder if there's a possibility for, say, intentions to get certified as a training tool. I think they can in certain areas. Like, I imagine there's commercial elements there. You know what I mean? And if it's an IFR approach, it'll show you the intended approach, so you can actually see where you stuffed it up. Yeah, it's a wonderful training tool. If you want to hone in on your phraseology, if you wanted to hone in on the calls when you're, and even listening back, how do you sound? You know, I've too many. Right, that's wasteful friggin' communication time when you're talking to ATC. They don't want to be listening to people going, and I'm. So now you're thinking, right, figure out what it is you want to say, and then you say it. And the good thing about say intentions, I mean, they're not going to, you can kind of just talk to them. That, you know, you can, they're not going to be too strict. You know, I asked you a question. You don't say Roger if you're answering a question. You say a firm. Shag off, will you? Stay to your face. But you know what I mean? Like, that's unfortunately what you get on VATSIM, because it's I'm just here to fly, relax, like, you know. Like yesterday, I turned much tighter than the AI thought I would, hence it was close to the final approach fix. Yeah, it can happen. But again, it's using these, like, this is what this is where you learn. This is what will teach you what your flight was doing. You know what I mean? It's absolutely class. Really, really good. So we're going to move on from the beautiful Seneca. And I got to say, this has been a real treat. Would you know how to fix audio popping in Microsoft Flight Sim? What did I do to fix my audio popping? I used to have audio popping. D White, by any chance, are you using Process Lasso? By any chance, are you doing anything to your CPU to speed it up? Or the power mode? And what is your CPU? For me, I use a 9800 X3D. I had it turned on to, like, you know, full speed, ultimate, and all this kind of stuff. And it was detrimental to it, you know. I wish Say Intentions was around when I got your pilot's license. Would have been awesome. Yeah, 100%, man. You have a Ryzen 5. Disabling the NVIDIA and the AMD sound devices helps. Yeah, if you go into your device manager, right, and when you scroll down to audio, right, sound, I've disabled the AMD and the, well, there's other stuff working now. The high definition, I don't need them either. All this, it's all shite. Use one. You only need one, right? So these other ones keep installing. So the high definition audio device. I wonder why. I wonder is that why I'm having issues? Because the sound over here keeps freaking out, right? The Insta360s, like, I don't use them as audio, but they're video, so I can't disable them. NVIDIA virtual audio device, wave extend, like, I'm not using that. Disable that. Don't uninstall them, just disable them, right? Game capture, 4K 60 Pro. I'm not using that either. I'll turn that off. And then everything else is grand. How do I know which one I'm currently using? Go down to the bottom right hand corner of your screen. It'll tell you. Click on the little gadgets down here, and that'll tell you what output device you're using. All right? That'll do all that. Disabling this device will cause it to stop. Unscale my screen there, please. Yeah, we're good. Right, close that. We're going to come back in now, and we are going to change our flight. So we're going to go to flight configuration. So tonight we're flying the Lineage. Lineage. And we're going to be taking off from, let's go in now and do our bit of work on this. So this is going to be our group. And we'll bring up Venture Sky. And we'll open up all the jazz here as well. So we're departing from Mike Bravo, Papa Victor. Mike Bravo, Papa Victor. That is Providenciales. So let's go in here and have a look. We're not going to be at a gate. We're going to be down at a ramp, probably. I don't know where the FBO is. Do we have the FBO? Provo Air Center. There we go. So let's confirm. Real world weather. Track real time. It's 9 o'clock in the morning, so we're going to start a new flight. And we're going to let the sim reload. All right. You only have your mic and headphones. Yeah, yeah. How do I know which mic I'm currently using? Same crack again, D White. Go into your sound settings. Go to right click the speaker, sound settings, and it's going to show you what you're using. Now, microphone for me Insta360s, that they should be disabled. So don't allow that. Go back. And they're okay. I'm happy enough there with that. Do you know? That's the one you just read. He does that. Wait, did I? What's the Steam streaming? Huh? I'm lost now. What are you talking about? What have I done? Murph, did you see the Phenom livery? I did, Cornwolf. Excellent work, my bud. Excellent work. Just gorgeous. A new Firefly Air livery on the Phenom. Great work, man. Really impressive. Really impressive. So we're just going to let X-Plane do its stuff. It's going to load us in. My plan tonight, we're going to be taking the Lineage for its second flight. We flew it last week, and I enjoyed flying it. So we're going to be flying this one later on. And of course, Princess Juliana is an absolutely gorgeous location to fly into as we head out over the Caribbean. So this is going to be interesting. So we'll have a look at how all of this is going to behave. So here we are in the sim. And We'll turn back on lossless scaling, and hopefully this all works. Martel says, X-Plane always brings back good memories. When I restarted simming with X-Plane, flew circuits in San Luis. Nice. Nice, nice. Okay, we'll go ahead and get some doors and stuff opened here. Air stairs are next. GPU will horse it on as well. All right. This is our machine for this evening. Isn't it pretty? This is Embraer's Lineage 1000. It is an absolutely beautiful aircraft, isn't it? It's gorgeous, man. This is a business jet. And mightn't have the range and whatnot of your Globals or Gulfstreams or whatnot, but it's certainly a nice machine. It's a big-ass plane as well. So this is our chariot for this evening. And this is live weather. And it's absolutely gorgeous. Isn't this very pretty? So we're here in the Caribbean, look. Ooh, very nice. Teal coloured waters. Cyrus T is going to be loving tonight's flight. So a couple of things we want to do before we start testing out the aircraft. We're going to have a look. I'll unscale my screen. We're going to have a look here at what we're doing in terms of our flight plan and so on. So the mission this evening, we are flying out of another Aviation Americas flight this week, and a request from our very own Iceman. We're making the jump from Providenciales over to Saint Martin, the island in the sun, indeed. The airport's proximity to Maho Beach became so popular with plane spotters that a beach bar used to post arrival schedules so guests could actually time their drinks and the low-flying jets. You ever see like those famous pictures of like KLM 747s like directly over the beach and people getting blown away? And that's this place, right? So, Mike, bravo. Be Janie, then we just got a raid from Grizzle. Grizzle, good to see you, man. Hope you're well, lads. Hope you had a great stream. You join us here for boring stuff. We have a flight scheduled tonight. We're going to be flying out of Providenciales. We're heading to Princess Juliana. And we're in X-Plane. What? Yeah, we're in X-Plane. And we're going to be having a look to see what we can do. I hope you had a great flight, buddy, or a great stream. And you're very welcome in. Lads, welcome in. Happy Thursday. This is all to do with our planning. So, you know, if you're new to flight simming, and how do you figure out, how do you plan your flights, right? And also get an idea of the weather, look at our charts, look at our procedures. It's almost like it's a full briefing to what we're going to be doing this evening. And it's a bit of crack, right? Steve, welcome in. Good to see you. Tad is here. Welcome in, lads. So we're going to go in and have a look. We have our description of what's happening tonight. If there's sceneries available in Microsoft Flight Sim, I'm in X-Plane. The lads are going to be in Microsoft Flight Sim. And we also have a SimBrief flight plan here as well. So we're going to start having a look at what's happening, right? So the first thing we're going to do, we'll have a look at our flight plan. So we're going to be Firefly 235, our departure, our arrival, and we're looking for the Embraer Lineage. That's what we're flying today, right? It's giving us a 2-hour block time. Now, if you're going to jump into the Citation X, you'll probably get this down to... Actually, what would you get this down to? 1 hour 55. There's not much between us, right? So we're in the Lineage. Stu Snape, you're very kind. Cheers, buddy. It was grand. Back tonight for some Leipzig ATC. Oh, good man, Grizzle. Are you enjoying the ATC up there? Brilliant. Right, so we have a departure. It's a Calto, so it's non-standard. So first waypoint Calto on PGM. So there's no SIDS or stars that I can see. Fair enough. So we're going to generate this flight. And now we're going to go in and just get an idea of the weather, right? The weather. So we're over in the Caribbean. We're going to be taking off over... Is it there? No, it's up the hill. Let's have a look. It's the Mad Island looking thing. Grand Turk. So we're north, south. There's Freeport. So we're up here somewhere. There's Providenciales. All right. So we're looking at the weather this evening. 29 degrees right now. We're flying tonight. It's going to be 30 degrees, right? Or as we like to call that, hot as balls, right? And then we're heading over to Juliana. So if there's Bartholomew, there it is there. So it's going to be roughly the same. It's about 30 degrees between our start and finish line. Grand. And we can kind of get an idea what the wind is doing. The wind is coming from the east. And it doesn't look like that's going to change, right? 10 to 12 knots, 10 to 12 knots. And it doesn't look like the direction is changing. So it's an easterly wind. All right. What about when we get into our cruise? It changes in our cruise because obviously the higher we get up, the winds change. So it looks like a bit of a crosswind. It's not very strong. 10, 12 knots at altitude, right? That's at 12,000 meters. What's at 9? Almost no wind. It's like 8 to 10 knots. So we don't have to worry heavily about crosswind, headwind, or tailwind. It'll have a little bit of an impact on the aircraft, but not much, right? And we also want to be looking at our time when we're flying from, which would be 8 p.m., and also our expected arrival time, somewhere between 10 and 11 o'clock. So that's what we're looking for. Next up is going to be the cloud coverage. So we'll get an idea. From 8 o'clock, there's a bit of cloud, 35-ish%. And as we fly on over, we get down this neck of the woods, 10 to 15%. But as the day goes on, 15 to 20% clouds. So with clouds, what might happen with clouds? Well, you might get precip. All right, do we have precip in the area? So right now, yeah, there's a tiny bit of rain, right? Tiny bit of rain. And as we get in later on, a little bit more rain. However, if you want to get a general idea of what's happening, you can see there is a weather front heading down, but it's not going to hit until, 2 or 3 hours after we land, right? MK just released Vagar version 2. Nice. So there is certainly weather systems in the area, but nothing that should affect us, right? The effective cloud cover here, we can get more detail of what the tops are going to be, but 30,000 feet, if it's rain, even less, right? So that's what it's going to look like. At what temperature do we need to achieve to hit hot as ball status? Hot as balls is it's traditionally it's anything over 25 degrees Celsius, right? Yeah, Vagar, lovely car park. I heard the same, Malky. Yeah, Jesus. I once flew on VATSIM and forgot to apply the parking brake and then went into drone camera to look at people land. And I rolled into the car. It was a rookie mistake. But anyway, so I'm happy enough there what's happening in terms of we know the wind direction, we know our temperatures, and we know then cloud and precip if we need to worry about that. We might get showers when we're landing. We might. It's forecasted, so we'll have to, we'll have to play that by ear. Now, in our flight plan, let's have a look. So we're seeing that it's going to be a departure off runway 10. Remember, the wind is coming up from the east. We're going to be taking off runway 10, and we're going to be landing on runway 10. Fairly straightforward, right? Our cruise altitude on this one, all the way up to flight level 390. Microsoft Flight Sim announced they'll be on Xbox at 1400 Zulu. Big announcements said to be. Is that where can we watch that live at Gamescom? Because if they're on at 3 o'clock, we'll have to watch this. Gamescom live. Yeah. No. Oh yeah, Gamescom live.
Sure. I think one that
I'll keep that in the background, so we'll watch it here. If it's on at what time? 1400 Zulu. That's 3 o'clock. So we'll watch it here, right? You can stream it under special events. Yeah, we'll just pop it up here on the screen and see what happens. And sure, if we get in trouble, we'll blame MuseFan. We'll blame MuseFan, right? Yeah, I have to stay up now, Oz. Yeah. Right, so information on our flight plan is telling us we're going to get an initial, well, our cruising altitude is flight level 390. So we're high as we can get. Average wind along the way is going to be 168 at 9. It's very light, and it's actually giving us a -5 wind component. -5, which means it's slightly a headwind. If it was P5, it's positive. It's with us. It's against us, so it's minus. ISA deviation, that's all fine. ETOPS we don't need. Our expected fuel, block fuel of 4910. We'll probably take a little bit more fuel just to be sure, right? If you go into our PDF here, if we want to see our final cruise altitude, your flight level steps, is going to be here. This guy right there. That's our final cruise altitude, which is there. Our cost index is 7. Our ground distance is 579. Average fuel burn, they reckon, is going to be 1777. Or no, 1773. And the rest of it then is information on the fuel and whatnot that we're using. We can also go in here now and get an idea of the temperature. So at our cruise altitude, flight level 3900, the coldest temperature is going to be minus 55 degrees. Minus 55. Want to watch for that. And then we can go off and get the weather. So we have our wind information between our climbs, so our different flight levels, right? And we also then have the weather information. So runway analysis is grand. Here's the weather. And this will give us METAR and also TAF, current and future planned weather, right? So we should be grand. Then we can go into NOTAMs. If there was anything important for said airports, we would check the NOTAMs to say, well, look, due to technical disruption, all aircraft refueling conducted via tanker truck only, grand. Parking stand Bravo 3 closed. Taxiway section from Bravo 3 parking to taxiway Bravo is closed. Aircraft on the main apron are required to backtrack. Runway 1028 via Charlie, Delta or Echo. Taxiway Bravo remains available to access apron west or enter the parallel taxiway section holding point. Nothing major to worry about. Right, couple of taxiways closed, couple of parking spots closed, but all that's grand. So with all that said and done, back into the sim, right? And now we want to bring up Navigraph and let's have a look at our charts because we want to figure out, well, what are we doing, where are we going, and how are we all going to do it, right? So I'll open up Navigraph and we're going to import the flight directly from SimBrief. We'll go ahead and grab this. And this is our route. Now, there's other things that we can use on Navigraph. We can turn on the radar to show convective clouds and also precip. So that's giving us a rough idea of what's happening over the next few hours. Again, it's not going to affect us when we're flying. If we look at between kind of, you know, now and 1200 Zulu or 1800 Zulu, there's a bit of stuff going on, but come tonight, that'll be gone, right? So we want to be looking at this. We don't have a designated departure, so we're expecting to blast off runway 10, right? We're parked over here at the moment, so we want to be planning, right, how are we actually going to get ourselves down to the runway? Because if you look at it, there's no taxiway. So ideally, to make matter, if you're on VATSIM, for example, and you're going to be parked at the FBO, well, you're going to be a while back taxiing. So you just want to be aware of that. Try and get onto the apron if you can, right? These are just little things you'd be worried about. Alson is here, good to see you. If you're going to be in an airliner, you have golf, you know, or just go to the South Apron or South Apron. There's another FBO terminal over there as well. So ideally, I want to be down here later on. All right. So that's when we depart, and all our waypoints, everything, we're autopilot pretty much through the whole way. As we get closer then towards Princess Juliana, right? Yana's welcome in. We've no arrivals, but we do have approaches. Runway 10 is what we want. So we have a VOR approach. Or there's an ORNAV. ORNAV means we're going to go by kind of our GPS. And we'll have to look at our last kind of waypoints coming in. So Slugo, that looks good because we're definitely going there. Or Gabble, right? So if we were to say ORNAV runway 10 from there, let's add this into the route. And you can see how it's going to change. It means from Slugo, we're going to turn down and go to Aviki or Avaki, and then we're in, right? So if we have a look at the ORNAV approach, there's no star, right? So we'll have a look in here and we'll say, right, okay, first and foremost, what happens if we can't land? We need to be looking into our missed approach, because if we can't land, we've botched the approach and we need to go somewhere. We need to have an idea, how do we handle a missed approach? So we read about it. That's why it's on our chart. The missed approach is climbing right, turn to 4000, direct on bed, and then hold, or as directed by ATC. So basically, we go missed approach, we climb as we turn right up to 4,000 feet, and then we go direct to on bed. Now, we're trying to say, well, where is that, Murph? Well, sure, we'll have a look here, right? Missed approach, climbing right, we need to end up at on bed. They have it down here to show you. Now, it's not very clear on the chart exactly where it is from your initial approach fix or where the runway is, right? And the reason why you're turning right was you have a big friggin' mountain there, right? So if we have a look at this on the map screen, this is where it goes different. Our missed approach point, we're turning right because there's a big obstacle in our way, and we keep going all the way 4,000 feet, and then we go direct on bed. We're down just south of St. Bartholomew, St. Bart's. So if you're familiar with the area, head on to St. Bart's, and you're turning to the right off runway 10. You're approaching, we're not going to make it. Climb, swing to the right, up to 4,000 feet. That's your limit. Stay at 4,000 feet, and then you can hold at on bed. Right? If you're not turning by the time you reach the runway, you're in trouble. Yes. So you'll be going, like, you'll have your missed approach point. That's where, you know, you're going to see that on your missed approach point. Missed approach point is here. All right? Which is before the runway. That's what you're going to do. James, the catcher, welcome in, buddy. 10 months, bud. Hope you're keeping well. Thank you very much, man. You're looking well. You're looking very well. So that's what we're looking at here. Now, if you're not fully established and ready to rock and the aircraft is comfortable, you're going to know it before you get to this waypoint, your missed approach, right? So you'll be swinging down to the right. So the missed approach here is fairly straightforward. So we're going to land. Let's say, for example, we're going to land. Well, where are we parking? This is going to be important. We have the main apron, right? And then further down the bottom right-hand corner, you have the golf apron and helis. This is for small general aviation. You're not going to fit much. I don't think you're going to fit big stuff in there. So just bear in mind, you'll notice there's a turn off here, but it's closed. Foxtrot is open, Echo, Delta, Charlie. And we'll double check our NOTAMs because one of these were closed as well. So this adds a bit of head scratching to us. Aircraft that are landing, they may not be able to vacate the runway straight away. They might have to back taxi, right? Or backtrack, meaning they got to turn around and use the runway to taxi to get back off the runway. If this is the case, we really need to watch that, because if we're approaching coming in, it's grand, old mate has landed, he might have to backtrack. So you want to be on your ball when it comes to, you know, your speed and approach. Because if there's an aircraft on the runway, you have to go missed approach. You'll have to. So depending on what the aircraft the lads are flying, they might be able to get it down and off the runway by Foxtrot. They may not, though. You're planning to use that runway, so I'm going to use all of that runway, says Naughty Gnome. So we need to allow for that. If they're going to be in small general aviation or even the smaller business jets, yeah, they can jump off at golf. But chances are they're coming up to the main aprons here. If you have a look at the airport itself, we can see where everything is, right? So there's certain aprons, if they're in a big heavy jet, forget Foxtrot, they're not going to fit past the fire station, right? So it's going to be either Echo, or ideally it's going to be Charlie or Bravo, because it says there's big light poles here. That's an obstacle. You mightn't fit the aircraft in between them. You know what I mean? So these are things to watch for. It's also giving us information here to say, look, hazardous beacons here. There's beacons all over the shop, and it's a hazard. It could distract us and all that kind of jazz. There could be heights for it. That's where the control tower is. Buildings all around it. The VOR. So if we're doing a VOR approach, just remember the VOR is offset to the runway. The VOR is not on the runway. It's whatever, 100 feet to the right hand side. So if we were flying an IMC, a VOR approach would not be the most accurate. You'd have to aim off, right? And we get the idea. Now, runway length, 7,500 feet. 747s get in and out of here, no problem, right? Absolutely no problem at all. So we've a good idea of what's happening. We know now from both our airports, we got to be careful with backtracking. Not a big concern when we're already on the ground, right? But be careful getting on the runway if there's an aircraft on approach. That changes when we get all the way down to Princess Juliana. As soon as you land, try and get off the runway as quickly as possible, because there's other aircraft coming in. And just be careful where you're going to exit from. Every Thursday we do this briefing, and what we do, we're going to load into the scenery now, have a look around and make sure there's nothing weird or broken, and also it'll give us a good idea of what's happening. So I'm happy enough with our flight planning, right? There's nothing major I need to worry about there. So now we go back into the sim, and this is where now we want to load to see, well, what's happening, right? So to do this, as I said, we're on the ground here in the beautiful Lineage 1000. Absolutely gorgeous plane. This is our aircraft of choice for this evening, right? And looking at where we're parked versus the rest of the runway, well, here we are in X-plane. So here's runway 28. We know we need to be up this neck of the woods. So there is another FBO. If we come on up the road here, right? I'm gonna see what the crack is. A big wave, welcome in. Twitch always thinks such bad things. Oh yeah, the closed captioning, Steve. They'll be hilarious. So there's a better FBO up here that we should utilize. Why? Because we've shorter distance. We have a shorter distance. So we're going to do that now. Let's see what we can find up here, right? So I'm going to go back into my map. We're going to go configuration, and we're going to move our location. So we're going to park up here somewhere. That'll do. Horse us in, start a new flight, and they'll just throw us over, right? So straight away, this is where our flight planning and the briefing, it just helps. It just means you have that bit of information. When you look at streamers, when you look at lads who are flying on VATSIM and they're flying the airliners, and none of this phases them because they're so familiar with it. Grizzle's a prime example. Grizzle will just hop in and be able to do it because he's done it before. He's done it tons of times before. But if you're new to this, you may not have done it many times before. Hence, that's why we're going to have a look at it. All right. So we'll reconfigure the aircraft. We're on the ground, and we're grand. GPU should be on. There we go. So this is definitely a better starting point because we have very little to taxi. We're going to see the airliners come off the gate, and then we're going to be from runway 10, and then we blashed off at high speed out that neck of the woods. And this is what the weather is doing. You can get an idea here of the whole area. Beautiful part of the world, isn't it? Like absolutely gorgeous. We're in the Bahamas tonight, or the Caribbean. This is beautiful, right? Again, this X-plane scenery, it just looks nice. You know? So, yeah, very, very much looking forward to this flight. So for our next trick, what we need to do, lads, we need to get down to Princess Juliana. Because, well, it's all well and good checking out where we're taking off from. We need to figure out where we're landing, right? So we're going to load now into Princess Juliana. And the ICAO code there is TNCM. So, TNCM, Princess Juliana. Let's go in and have a look. I don't think we'll have space to park down here. So we're going to plan to park. The gates are there. We don't need a gate. North apron, turboprop, south apron. That's a gate. I don't want a gate. Although, south position, Bravo 5. Let's see what this does. And we're going to load into this now as well. And we're going to have a look at Princess Juliana just to get an idea how the scenery is looking. Is everything going to work? And we're going to see what the crack is here. All right. As I said, I mean, you can fly. I was going to fly the 7-4. I'll do the 7-4 in a couple of weeks. Next week, it's definitely on VATSIM because we have Dallas Love. Scott is flying, so I might take the citation out on that one, you know. So we'll allow the sim to reload. And then we'll see what the crack is. All right, we're back in. This is Princess Juliana. Now, this is default scenery and X-plane, so in Microsoft Flight Sim, there's a lot of really nice payware options, and it looks absolutely class. But as I said, I wanted to fly this Lineage. We flew it last week. I enjoyed it. I want to fly it again. So that's why we're here. All right. So here we are. Let's zoom out. Let's get an idea and a feel for the airport. Right? Did X-plane not do a custom scenery for here? I thought they did. They did, look. So they actually have a fairly decent airport here. Jet Blast, right? So it's actually pretty good. The one in Microsoft is handcrafted as well. Yeah. So like there's a bar or something over here. So some of the autogen didn't come out really well in X-plane, but we get the idea. Oh look, there's people on the beach. Oh no, there's not. They're just chairs. I thought there's people on the beach. Anyway, that's not important. What is important is how is this all going to look later on? Runway 10 is what we're going for. And let's have a look now around the airfield itself, what's available to us, right? So if we ramble down the road here, can we fit our jet over here? Yes, we'll fit. Just about, right? We'll just about fit, all right? But ideally, no. When we land, we want to be focusing on over here. So this little taxiway here, Foxtrot, see what I mean? If you're in a small aircraft, you're going to be stuck. So Foxtrot is not for you. If you go and look at Echo, Echo is definitely better, right? Plenty of room there. You can park straight ahead. But remember I said there was these spotlights. According to the aircraft chart or the airport chart, there's these spotlights we were talking about. There's one and there's the other. So again, you need to be careful. Your ideal entry here onto the ramp is going to be on Charlie or Bravo. Here's Charlie, and down the road then is Bravo. So this is what we want to be looking for later on. All right. Plenty of room for gates and whatnot. Once you're in on Bravo, it's like if you have a larger aircraft, that's where you want to go. But again, you need to be careful because you're going to have to back taxi. All right, you're going to have to back taxi. So that's kind of the scale of it. That's how she's going to be looking later on, right? It does look pretty. And this is, bearing in mind we're an X-plane, right? There's the high ground we need to dodge, hence we have to climb, right? So yeah, there is Mountainous Regionus Maximus, right? We need to watch that. And then we'll be heading down towards St. Bart for our hold, all right? So apart from that, aircraft, want to make sure all is working. So we'll go ahead, turn on some batteries, activate our GPU, emergency lights are armed, electrical pumps, they've just turned on, so we can hear those. And our screens are going to come to life here. We're going to see what's happening with the aircraft. And then we'll be putting in all our flight plan details and all the jazz. So we have our weight and balance. We can request our load sheet and all the jazz here. So this is, as I said, this is just a beautiful airplane. I liked flying the Lineage. I think it looks great. It did act the maggot a little bit last week in terms of trying to follow the autopilot. We'll see how it behaves tonight, but it is a very pretty aircraft. Another good aircraft to shout is the other X-craft, the Legacy. Legacy is a beautiful airplane as well. A little bit smaller than this. She's a lot closer to an Embraer 145 or a 135. I just like this. She's modern, it's new, it's sleek, and it can haul ass. So flight level 390 is our expected. That could change later on now, bearing in mind we're only looking at that flight for the moment. But yeah, that's what we're going to be aiming for. And it is a beautiful plane. It's all terribly plush. And that pump you hear, that's the electrical pump that I just turned on, which we don't actually need, but you can hear it, you know. And this is our fancy cabin. Ooh. And it's very fancy, isn't it? Wouldn't you just love this to be your own plane? You're going to be up at flight level 450. Nice. Nice, nice. So this is our chariot for this evening. And in terms of the aircraft maintenance, weight and balance and all that kind of jazz, that's what we're just going in here and, you know, we're having a quick look. There are checklists there, settings, show reflections, show Easter eggs, why not? CDU input delay, ambient lighting, dynamic, weight and balance, direct, that's all grand. SATCOM, yes. Wheel covers, that's all fine. If we double check what's happening with the aircraft itself, we want to go in and just inspect. This is where we can see all the beautiful details in X-Plane, right? Beautiful engines there. That's just the wind hitting them. Now we can change the time of day to what we'll think it'll look like later on. So if we were to say current time 14, we won't get here till around. What time will we be here at? 11 o'clock UTC. No, it'll be around 1000 UTC. So we'll load this in and just see what it looks like. The CityJet Jivery would look smart on that. CityJet, oh yeah, good shout. So this is the time of day we're going to be arriving here at. Right as the sun is setting. This is going to be gorgeous. Look at that. This is going to be very pretty this evening when we get here. We're going to have some beautiful night lighting or evening lighting. The shadows are going to be very long on the day. And this is how it's all going to look. Roughly. Plus or minus, 20 minutes. They should be making a fair racket windmilling. They kind of do. You can kind of hear them. If I turn off that pump, you'll hear them better. Do you know? But it's just a beautiful aircraft. I mean, look at the details in this thing, lads. Isn't it gorgeous? Like, that's like looking at a photograph, I think. They've done incredible work modeling this machine. It is gorgeous looking, isn't it? And as I said, like there's other aircraft here we can fly in this as well, for sure. There's a lot of really nice aircraft we can use for tonight's flight. I was thinking of 7.4, but like by the time I get it up and running, we'd be here all night. So yeah. Does the jacks flush? It doesn't, Linny. It's unflyable. It doesn't have a flushable jacks. Be the Janie. But the detailing is superb. It's a really nice airplane. You know, the details you have, and it's stunning. You know what I mean? And we can open up various different compartments and all this kind of jazz. The baggage area and whatnot. You know, all that beautiful detail, and the jacks doesn't flush, isn't it? It's like, how do they manage that? You know, and then our beautiful cabin here as well. So that's the shab of it. I can select a different aircraft just to have a look at it again, just to give you an idea of the different aircraft we have. I do like the Lineage. That is the one I want to fly. But if you wanted to go with the other Embraer, we have the Legacy. This is another gorgeous plane. So if we were to load into the Legacy and get an idea of how this looks, right? Doug, thank you for subscribing. Welcome in, buddy. Welcome in. We're just waiting on the Microsoft announcement over at Gamescom. We'll have a look there. It's about 10 minutes away. So that's why we're idling here now at the minute, you know? But yeah, the X-Craft aircraft are really good. They're beautiful. If you want to fly Embraer, like they're class. They're absolutely class. Right, so we'll jump into this one now and get our views set up, and we can bring that time of day back a little bit. Okay, so we'll do the same crack again. We will open the passenger door. You have the latest version, thanks very much. Get that GPU up and running. All right. In terms of power, we'll get some power turned on. Onto our overhead. Battery 1, battery 2, GPU coming on. Avionics coming on.
Hello there.
We get our pumps turned on here as well. Hydraulics go to auto. APU will leave it off. Nav and inspection lights. Get the logo light on as well. And cancel out our caution. So we can see similar enough in terms of the avionics, right? Very similar. Different, but very similar, right? And if we want to ramble into our cabin, slightly different machine, as you can see. It's not as big as the Lineage. You know, but it's still quite nice. It's nice, isn't it? Exterior. And you might prefer the look of this versus the other one, right? I prefer the Lineage, but this is damn nice. This is a nice machine. Trying to get the time of day nice and bright so we can see what's happening. Change the time of day there, Murph. Flight configuration. What is the time of day? Real world time. In there now. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. We'll load it in there now. What's the space age sound there? It's the pumps, the electrical pumps. If you jump in, you'll actually hear the pump at the back. We can turn those off. Here. Right. So they're off now. So yeah, you can see it on this machine. Just a different configuration with the aircraft. But it's very pretty as well, isn't it? I haven't flown the Legacy with any amount of time whatsoever. So this is another aircraft I'm just looking forward to go flying in. I want to fly this machine. But I just haven't done it yet. You know? And the livery options we get, this isn't a bad one. That German livery is not bad. We can go in and change the livery here. Let me see, what do we have? Dream Chaser, jeez, that's very nice. I like the Dream Chaser one. What else do we have? Default white, all black, or I'll load in the Dream Chaser one, or Dream Chaser. That's very nice. That's like Embraer's own color. Ah, yes, that's pretty, isn't it? So you get the idea. Like, it is quite a large aircraft, but I just think the Lineage looks better. It's pretty much, that's what they did, yeah. The business jet-esque of an of the Embraer 45 or 145. It's nice though, isn't it? Which one do you prefer, lads? Do you prefer this Legacy or would you prefer the Lineage? And again, like the detailing, like it's striking how good the detailing is in this. You like this one? You like the Legacy? Great details on the tail. I suppose it is nice. You prefer the Lineage? I prefer the Lineage. I prefer the look of the Lineage. You reckon this will get into more places than the big fella? Possibly. Beautiful machine though. We'll go back into the Lineage. Lineage. I do like this machine. It's just freaking gorgeous. Do you know? I don't know what it is about it. It's just, she's nice. Yeah, they're all the X-Craft aircraft. They've done great work, man. They're friggin' brilliant. Really, really nice aircraft. And they just work. You know? As I said, bar that autopilot issue I had the other night. I'll just need to keep an eye on that, you know? So we'll let her all load back in. And here we go. Beautiful. So let me see. Unscale, rescale. And here's our machine. So we got some, get the door open, get the GPU up. Cargo can open up here as well. Get our stairs. I don't know, do I have ground handling for this specific aircraft? No, I've no profile loaded for it. She's a much bigger machine, isn't it? Much bigger. It has a better look at class, I think, doesn't it? It just looks that little bit more classy. You stay classy, San Diego. But yeah, beautiful, beautiful machine. Love flying in this thing, man. It's gorgeous. I'm sure we can get other liveries. I mean, the white, that's not a bad livery by any stretch of the imagination. Like it's you know, I like the black lines in it. But yeah, I think it's class looking. It is absolutely friggin' gorgeous, lads, isn't it? Yes, Murph, it's gorgeous. We hear you. But even the scenery and all this, like it's we don't have an aircraft like this in Microsoft Flight Sim. You know, you're still getting those audio pops. Ooh. I was getting them, as I said. It was just making sure that the CPU was ran on its normal. It does its own bit of stuff. It works itself, you know. So Gamescom now. Gamescom Studio, is that what I need to be watching? I think it is, isn't it? Because we should have Microsoft on the stage here now in a minute. Gamescom Studio live. Yeah, I imagine that's what we're looking at. What's she saying now?
Up shortly, we'll be checking out Chronicles Medieval, Soulframe, plus we'll be taking a closer look at Alien Deathstorm and Dune Awakening.
Hang on a second. Are we gonna get Microsoft stuff here? Right, we need to keep an eye on that. Because if we're getting Microsoft stuff, we need to watch it. You know. DM me. What are we waiting for? They're making an announcement. Stu Snape. Oh, it's on Twitch. It's on Twitch. Day 2 schedule. So it starts. Grand. It starts in a couple of minutes. So, right, we'll keep an eye on this. Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now, hang on. This starts at 2 o'clock. So, have you go to DeadNet, Stuntman, and then Microsoft? Have we to go through all of these first? I think we do, don't we? We'll see what the crack is. Yeah. Where is this now? Buttons and buttons. Can I add you to? Where is this now? Looking at SI features. Now, the Star Wars game is great on the N65. You see a different order on a different website. Well, this is Xbox, so you know, it'll be a while, I reckon. Yeah, like they've a bit of stuff to get through. Star Wars Galactic, Cassette Beast, Planet Zoo 2, Stuntman Hollywood, Dune Awakening, Kingdom 3, Microsoft Flight Sim. I'd say an hour. We're talking an hour, give or take. I imagine you're going to be on the stage, or they'll be chatting to him to say, yeah, we're doing this. Now, I don't know if they're talking about big announcements. If they announce another sim, if they're going to call a Flight Sim 2028, I'm going to be shocked. I would be shocked. If they turn around and say, you know, they're going to slow down things, I wouldn't be shocked. I'd be disappointed, but I wouldn't be shocked. So if it turns around that if it's business as usual, here's a new aircraft and here's some scenery. You know what I mean? That's what I think we would get. I think. You know what I mean? So this is all going to be trailers, isn't it? Peggy 18. What's this now? Yeah, we get it, lads. Peggy 18. Unsuitable if you're under 16. Wait, it's either 18 or 16. I think they're talking about racing coming out the end of the year. Gears of War, is it? Digital license unlocked. I'm not a fan of this whole digital licensing, Bajani. Your discs now also digital. Bring the benefits of digital to your physical Xbox Series coming soon. What do they mean with that? Right, these are all just random games. I'm not here to watch random games. We'll keep an eye on it, though. We'll keep an eye on it. What else have I to do? I'm doing this now as well. Let's have a look. It gets busy during the day, doesn't it? Be the Jesus. Right. Let's have a look here. I will shout when it's on. Good man. That'll do. Keep that there on the side. I think we're talking about racing coming at the end of the year. If it's going to announce another sim, it'll be next year, I think. Yeah. I don't know. I'd be shocked if they announce another flight sim. Like they're not ready yet. You know, they still have all the other stuff to do, so I'd be shocked. I could be shocked, but I don't know. Anyway, what are we doing? Yes, so our flight tonight, lads, in terms of our planning is good, right? We know what the weather is doing. Aircraft is working. Sceneries are working, right? In terms of the aircraft, we'll put a bit of power into it. So we'll get rid of the engine covers. We'll keep the doors open. We'll just put a bit of power into the plane. Just make sure we're not getting any issues. Emergency lights. We'll also get our pumps on. Logo light can come on here as well. Get the beacon light on because we will be landing emergency light to tender. That's all working fine. We'll get the EPU on first. This digital license means the game is on your digital account you bought online, but you can sell and give the disc to another person. Yeah, what's the point of that though? So if you buy the game off someone else, what's the point? Like, I don't get it. I really don't get it. That whole thing of like, you know, the digital licensing thing, like I don't trust that at all. We're stuck in the world, but you know, if I had an option, I wouldn't like it. Right, let's fire up the APU. APU is spinning. I'll go aside, listen to it. Sounds. Good sounds in this, by the way. Zoom in there, Murph. Oh, yeah. Oh, heck yeah. Shouldn't it be a tray bit louder? Look at the detail here, though. Isn't it savage, lads? Okay. APU is... up and running. GPU off. And we might, just for the sheer crack of it, start up some engines here as well. It's a FedEx system, don't need to worry about fuel. Engine 2. We'll do an engine test while we're here. So ignition is on. Oh, but the sounds turned down. I think I do. Exterior. There we go. They're probably in my tablet settings. Audio, sound. Cockpit, engine sounds are high. Avionics. I just want the outside sounds. We're sounding good. And we'll do the same with engine 1 here. Man, that's a beautiful sight. Sounds are weird, man. Okay, I know our door's open. Let's listen to these sounds. Oh, they sound good. Something like 10% thrust. Yeah, sounds good, man. See our flaps moving there? Go full flap. See the slats coming down. Very, very nice indeed. Got their doors closed here as well. So ground services, air stairs coming in. Disconnect that ground power unit. Passenger door can be closed. And yeah, I'm in it now. On now, Betsy. There we go. And we'll power down the APU. Alright, double check the cabin. Yep. Everything looks good. Isn't it a grand old machine though? Jesus, the roars of it. Beautiful sounds, isn't it? Like, and the sounds only class. They're absolutely brilliant. Right, well that aircraft works. You love the darkness of the engines. Yeah, the shadowing in next plane isn't too bad. I mean, you can see the details in there. You know, it's just how it looks. But yeah, right. These lads are only still covered in DeadNet, and that was the first one, and it's after taking 10 or 15 minutes. So we'll probably have to jump over to whatchamacallit. Keep them down there for the second. We'll probably have to that could be on in an hour, like, you know what I mean, which I won't be here in an hour because I have to go, but I'll be back later. So yeah, I think if you want to watch the Xbox stuff, the Microsoft stuff will be on shortly, and we'll have a full recap of the news later on. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, they won't be on for ages. Yeah, they won't be on. Upshift is here. Good to see you, bud. Welcome in, man. So I think in terms of what we're planning for this evening, we can't really do any more, lads. Sceneries work, aircraft work. That's all we're going to be able to do. So what we will do, we'll leave the stream there, and we'll come back then in a couple of hours. We're back in about 4.5 hours, 1900 Zulu time, and yeah, we'll find out all the news as well from Gamescom, what Microsoft are talking about. Fierce interest now, so it will. So we'll see what the crack is. So what am I doing here? Let's close that. Right, lads, we'll see you later. Thanks so much indeed for tuning in and for putting up with it. We did check out the Seneca. It was beautiful. We also flew it on air, which gave us such an incredible log of what we were doing. And we also had the same with St. Intentions. Absolutely brilliant stuff. So yeah, we'll be back in a little while. Oz Flight Simmer has to stay up late to watch this. Poor old devil. But yeah. Hutchie, you're very welcome in. Good to see you, bud. Many thanks for joining us. We're back in a few hours' time. We're going to fly this route tonight, which is out of Providenciales, right, down to Princess Juliana. Looking forward to it. Citizens 42, good to see you. Right, we'll see you in a couple of hours, lads. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for tuning in. I'm seeing you in a bit. Holy crap. Holy crap, holy crap, holy crap. We're going in, that's it. There's no turning back at this stage. Jesus, mind the bears. Look at this big Jesus. Oh no, we're into dying. Quick, get out. Oh no, we're Jesus. Oh. Straight away. Do you like me, Podge and Raj? You ever see Podge and Raj, did you?
I've all me own teeth. Axe the back of me sack.
Jesus, I didn't think you'd say that. Right, anyway, that's enough of them. Right, we'll get into it anyway, will we? Come on over here with Bud. Possible. Did you just say what? There's a